This is big time. We are in the big time, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time of the season where shit gets nerve-wracking, and I can tell you right now, it starts with this game. Hey guys, how you going? So BKR Sport. We are back live for a big day of rugby league here on Friday. Obviously, yesterday we saw the Dolphins beat the Cowboys 43-24, which rocketed them into 7th place on the ladder. But that all depends on, it's not even depending actually that they're going to sit in 7th, because one of these two teams here today, one of them will go back above them and drop them down to 8th. So, look, this is the Sydney Roosters going up against the Cronulla Sharks in Sharky Park. This is a massive game between 9th position and 10th position. They were 8th and 9th before the round did come to its did start up, and honestly, it's going to be a really tough game to predict, because both these teams are fighting for their top 8 chances right now, and every game from here on out is crucial. There is 7 games left of the regular season. Let me just quickly check the buys here. The Roosters have played 3 of their buys. They've already had their buys, whilst the Sharks still have a buy to come up for the back end of the year. So this is effectively a 4-point game here for the Sharks. This is effectively a 6-point game here for the Sharks. It's effectively a 6-point game here for Cronulla over the Roosters, because if they win, they get the 2 points. They take 2 points away from the Roosters, so there's the 4. And then because obviously the Sharks have a bye and the Roosters don't have a bye to go, then that is going to rocket them even further above there later on towards the back end of the year. So this is a really crucial game for the Roosters, and also just a really crucial game for Cronulla. It is huge. Now, the rest of the really important matchups this week, before we get into the 2-team lineups here, the game starts in 15 minutes time, but the rest of the important matchups this week, you wouldn't really say too much about the Panthers-Rabbitohs, which will be live streaming after this. There's a big game there for Penrith to maintain their spot, and it is a big game for the Rabbitohs to avoid the wooden spoon. However, those two teams, it's not like a massive clash and matchup, especially now that Latrell Mitchell is out as well. Raiders and Eels. The Raiders obviously just trying to hold on to that top spot at the moment. Eels, same as the Rabbitohs, they're trying to avoid that wooden spoon. Bulldogs and the Dragons, it's literally last chance season for the Dragons. This is a rivalry match. The Bulldogs obviously fighting for to actually just realistically stay in the top 4, because they're not actually completely away from the Broncos right now, but also to maintain their attempt at still winning that minor premiership, which is going to be incredibly difficult, but that is actually a pretty decent game. So I think that Bulldogs-Dragons game is really one to look out for. Storm-Manly is always one to look out for. That is a big rivalry clash. Melbourne obviously trying to fight for that minor premiership right now. Manly, they are literally on the brink of the 8th position, so that is a hugely important game. We've got 2 really big games tomorrow. And then on Sunday, Tigers and Titans, like a half and half spoon bowl there, on the basis that these two teams are both down there at the bottom of the table. But I can't say half and half, because there is also like 3 other teams, or 4 other teams you could argue, that are in the mix for that spoon as well. There is the Titans, there is the Tigers, there is the Rabbitohs, there is the Eels, there is the Knights. You could even argue the Cowboys are down around that spot there with a chance. So still plenty of teams around there, but that is a big game for both those teams, for whoever can obviously try and avoid that spoon. And then you've got the Knights and the Warriors game, where the Knights are trying to avoid the spoon, whilst the Warriors, they are literally, saving their bacon on that top 4, so they have to win that game there, the Warriors. But we'll get into all that throughout the rest of the weekend. Obviously, for the time being, we've got a big game here to think about on Friday night, and that is the Cronulla Sharks taking on the Sydney Roosters. So guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new around here. Give me your predictions in the chat. And I will also point out, you can see the Shacky Shacks on the old scam. Big scammers, massive scammers this year. Predicted them for first, and they're not even in the top 8 right now. But if they win this game here today, if they win this game for the first time in like 2 months, they will be off scam. They'll be on fraud alert, but they will be off scam. Gee whiz, big game for them. And the Roosters, if they lose this, they're going fraud alert. Oh my gosh, they're going fraud alert. And I tell you, we might see 2 teams in fraud alert right there. It's probably going to happen. Like if the Sharkies win, at home, they're off scam, they're on fraud alert, and the Roosters will drop down to fraud alert as well. But all right, the Sharks, they come to this game from 10th position. The Roosters come to this game from 9th position, and this is at Sharks Stadium in Sydney, Sharky Park. The Cronulla Sharks ins Chris Vieira, with the out being Jesse Ramian. Big out there in the centre. Shouldn't be game-defining, but a big out there nonetheless, especially considering that both of their starting centres are out in KL Ero and also Jesse Ramian. So that's both their starting centres that are gone. Again, it shouldn't be game defining, but it will be impactful. Sorry guys, I'm still getting over that sickness from last week. Now, the fullback is William Kennedy, with the wingers being Sione Katoa and Ronaldo Mulatalo. Centers are Sir Sivitalakai, who shifts sides for Chris Vieira, who comes in from 19th man. He will start in the centers. You go to the 5'8", which is Braden Trindle. The halfback is Nico Hines. He had a fantastic game last week against the Redcliffe Dolphins, which got the Sharks the win. And honestly, without him performing as well as he did, they probably wouldn't have won that game with the Dolphins coming back in the end. So, really, really appreciate that Nico Hines finding some form. You go to the front row forwards of Adam Fanor-Blake and Oren Gafusi, with number 9 being Blake Brayley. The back row is Britton Nakora and Teague Wilton. And the 13 is Cameron McInnes, who is the captain. Now, the interchange is Jesse Colhoun, Toby Rudolph, Braden Halmanueli, and Billy Burns comes in as the 18th man into the starting, or onto the interchange, with Daniel Atkinson yet again dropping from that 14 into that 18th man replacement, which is really interesting. And Craig Fitzgibbon is the coach. And the reason I say that is really interesting is because why? Why is it every week that Daniel Atkinson is named to be that 14, but he never plays the 14? They just consistently take him out and put him onto the 18th man. Why not just put him into the 18th man from the start? I really don't understand it. I don't understand what Craig Fitzgibbon's point is there to always have Atkinson as the 14 and then just shifting him out to the 18th man where he won't play unless there's foul play and foul trouble in this game. So, really odd. It doesn't really mean too much. Like, it's not really impactful by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just like, why? Why does that always happen? And then when you go to the Sharks and you look across their team, look, they should be doing better than they are. There's a reason why they're on scam. I predicted them for first this year. I thought Adam Fanor-Blake would be a massive inclusion. Hasn't necessarily panned out that way. The Sharks have been really confusing. Really, really confusing this year, where they struggled at the start, then they went like on a 5-game win streak, and then went on a big losing streak, and then finally, got a win against the Dolphins last week. Yeah, they had that win against the Dragons, but I'm going to include that as a loss on the mental state, because they were down 18-0 to them at half time, and it came back to win 30-18, but ultimately, it was an impressive game from Cronulla, that one, despite the fact that they did win. Obviously, last week they won 24-12 over the Dolphins. The couple of weeks before that, with obviously the bye between, they lost the Storm 30-6. They lost the Broncos 34-28, and they were up like 22-4 or something ridiculous at halftime. The week before that, they won 30-8 over Dragons, like I said, but it was 18-0 Dragons at halftime. They lost the Warriors at home, 40-10, crazy, had a bye, and then the week before was the big one that I wanted to get to here, which is the Sydney Roosters, where they lost 42-16 in Gosford, and the Roosters had all of their Origin plays out. Now, the bit of context there is the Sharks don't have any Origin plays. There is no Origin plays in their team. So to lose 42-16 to a Roosters team that is very, very up and down, makes a lot of errors, like a dramatic amount of errors, similar to the Broncos in a lot of way, but the Roosters make a lot of errors in their game. Even when they've got their full strength or half strength, doesn't matter, it's errors galore. They're one of the highest rated error teams in the competition. So to have like 5 Origin plays out whilst the Sharks had their full strength team, and then to lose 42-16 to them was just appalling. And that really summed up a lot of what the Sharks have been so far this season. But hopefully they can try and get a bit of a move on at the back end of the year. And the week before that, obviously they beat the Storm 31-26, which tells you how confusing everything is. But let's move now into the Sydney Roosters. Their ins, Chad Townsend is into the game, with Hugo Savala being out. The fullback is James Tedesco, who is the captain, with the wingers being Daniel Tupou and Mark Nwangana-Tawase. The centres are Billy Smith and Robert Toya, with the 5'8 being Chad Townsend, and a halfback is Sam Walker. Front row forwards are Nafahu White and Lindsay Collins. The number 9 is Connor Watson, with the back row being Angus Crichton and Salesi Focchetti. 13 is Victor Radley. Interchange with Zach Docker-Clay, Blake Steep, Egan Butcher, and Spencer Lenu. And the 18th man replacement is Ethan King, with the coach being Trent Robinson. This Roosters team has been super up and down this season. Super up and down this season. I'm surprised that they're actually as heavily competing as they actually are, considering their losses from last year, player-wise, considering they are in a bit of a transitional period, but not too significant of a transitional period, but enough of one to mention it. I did actually have them down around that bottom 4 this season with that, but they've been able to supersede those expectations on the basis their culture at the Roosters is very, very good, and that's why they're still able to get results regardless. The Roosters overall, they do have some very solid players in their team. They really do. Sam Walker being back is huge. Losing Hugo Savala is big, though. And also not having Sanders Smith and whatnot. They've got Chad Townsend there, and he hasn't necessarily been too good for the Roosters when he's come across. He is obviously a depth option there. It's going to be interesting to see how Sam Walker and Townsend get along, considering that Townsend's more of a 7 than a 6. Sam Walker is the 7, and Townsend's meant to be the kind of, roamer, the floater, comparatively to the defining half, which is what he was mainly known for when he was at the Cowboys. Cowboys, and also when he won the premiership with the Cronulla Sharks, he's always been like a halfback. So it'll be interesting to see him go into that 5/8 role today. But look, I'm going to tip the Sharks. I'm going to tip them at home. I can absolutely see a world where I get disappointed because the Sharks have been a very disappointing team this season. But this is if they're going to prove themselves, if anything, it has to be now. You know, like at the end of the day, yeah, sure, we've gone through 19 rounds where they have been more disappointment than great. But they are still within range of obviously making the 8. They win this game today, they go into the 8, and if they are going to be the team that we believe, then they have to win this game, because realistically I would assume that they're favourites. I would assume so. I don't know though, because obviously I'm in Vietnam, so I don't get the odds over here, but I would assume the Sharks are probably favourites. I couldn't believe that they were actually favourites against the Dolphins last week, but then again, they did win that game. I did tip them. So yeah, look, I can see either team winning this game. It is a lot of a 50-50, but I will lean with the Sharks because I do think that they do have overall a better roster that should be doing better. A better roster that should be doing a lot better, and a captain goes down with his ship, mate. A captain goes down with his ship, so despite the fact that I might be ripping my hair out at the Sharks today, at the end of the day, I'm going to tip them because I do believe they should be able to get the job done here at home. I don't believe they've lost a game on Friday night at Shark Park for a long time as well. I think I saw something from Rando just before we jumped on here. So, look, I'm going to tip the Sharks 1-12. I think it'll be a cracker game, though. I do think it'll be a cracker game. Now, quickly, the game starts in 5 minutes' time, so let's go through the ladder ramifications. The Roosters, they're on 22 points, alongside the Sharks, alongside Manly, and alongside the Dolphins. They've got a plus 21 points differential. The Sharks have a plus 8, the Manly Seagulls have a plus 58, and the Dolphins have a plus 169, which is just unfathomable, considering they're not in the top 4 with a points differential like that, but we all know the context behind that. If the Roosters win this game, for the time being, they would go above Manly, and they would go above the Dolphins. They would also go above the Penrith Panthers on 23 points, who have a plus 25 points differential. Who cares about that? But the Panthers do play the Rabbitohs later on today, and you would expect the Panthers to win that game. So if the Roosters win this, you would probably assume that Melbourne beat Manly tomorrow. You'd probably assume that, but it's up in the air. But you'd probably assume Melbourne beat Manly. So with that being the thought process, the Roosters would go into 7th position, where the Dolphins are right now, because I do believe the Panthers beat the Rabbitohs. So the Panthers would go 25 points, and the Roosters would go 24 points, and that would put the Roosters into 7th position. And then if the Roosters lose this game, obviously automatically they drop below the Sharks there, and that's as far as they can go. The lowest they can go is 10th because the Dragons are down there on 18 points compared to the 22 points of these guys. So it would be a 4-point gap. However, the Dragons do get to play against the Dogs. If they won that game, they'd be within 2 points, but their points differential is minus 56, so it doesn't even really matter, and they'd still be a full week away from being able to overturn that. So that's why I say anyone Dragons and below, I've got out of the 8 this year. I don't see any team Dragons or below making the top 8, but the lowest the Roosters can drop off is 10th. The highest that they can go into is 6th, but it just comes down to the Rabbitohs beating the Panthers and also the Storm beating Manly. Now, for the Sharks, on the other hand, they've got to really start fixing this. They're on 22 points, like I said with the other teams. So for them, they would, I've got to, give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to run off and grab a tissue. Give me 1 second here. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. 1 sec. All right, we're back. Okay, so the Sharks in 10th position on 22 points. They've got the plus 8 points differential. If they won this game, they would go above the Roosters, they would go above Manly, they would go above the Dolphins, and they would go above the Panthers into 6th position. Pretty much the same thing that's it for the Roosters goes to the Sharks here, because their points differential isn't too great. They are 50 points differential below Manly. Panthers, again, doesn't really matter. Dolphins are on plus 169. But if the Sharks win, they'd go 6th and then have to rely on the Rabbitohs to beat the Panthers and also rely on the Storm to beat the Manly Seagulls. Right, so the exact same thing happens there as the Roosters. And if they lose this game, they will finish off this round in exactly where they are, in 10th position. They won't jump up. They won't go down. The Dragons, again, would have to beat the Bulldogs to bring it within 2. And if the Dragons lose, then that's the 8. The top 10 are the only teams that can make the 8. And that's pretty much officially at that point. It's not mathematically, but it's pretty much officially at that point. So, yeah, whoever wins this game, they're a good chance. Whoever loses this game is still within range, but they just want a couple other teams to get a win to help them out dramatically. But alright guys, the game is about to start here. Obviously hit that like button and subscribe. The Roosters are out in the field, so are the Sharks. Give me your predictions in the chat and let's get rocking. Let's get rocking, son. Oh, it's 50-50 odds, is it, Wezuno? Damn. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Well, it's like 8th versus 9th pre-round and 9th versus 10th now. So, like, I understand why it would be even odds. I think that Sharks probably should be edging favourites, but then again, you know, I can understand the thought process there. Olivia Reed with the $8 redo donation says, we made it. Happy Friday, everyone. Hopefully there's no cameras here. Don't want them to capture my size. I just ordered from Domino's. Yeah, that was pretty funny with the CEO and stuff at the Coldplay concert. Like, dead set. But, like, you do it. You're in public, mate. You know? Like, seriously. Seriously. You're in public cheating. Like, and you're at a place that's going to have cameras everywhere. It's just crazy to me. But kickoff has happened. Thumbs up, subscribe. Let's get it. And thank you very much for the dono, Olivia. So, Chad Townsend gives it up to Nafahu White. Nafahu White brings it out to the 10. I'm going to refresh this. I haven't seen any messages from you, Jay. So, I'm doing this on my own. Oh, my gosh. How good am I? I'm bloody professional over you. Just bloody professional over you, Jay. Oh, my dearie me. Mitchell says Jay has some generational beef with Chad and his glorious sunnies. Is this like a thing from his YouTube? Like, is he known for these sunnies or something like that? Chad and Patrick Cummins both have shit taste in sunglasses. Okay, thank you, Jay. Thank you for letting us know. The old Paddy Cummins gets back into the old memory bank. Jay, I don't know if we'll ever move past Patrick Cummins. Don't know. Well, Jay passes on. He's probably going to haunt Chad, not Chad Townsend, maybe Chad Townsend too, but Paddy Cummins for sure. So fit tackle for the Roosters at the 40, and Sam Walker's going to whack that ball down where Will Kennedy will grab it at the 15 and brings it out here to the 25. Now, Will Kennedy is such a 50-50 player, man. He can be absolutely incredible, but can be absolutely poor as well. So let's see how he cracks on today against the Roosters, where his opposite fullback is one of the best in the game, James Tedesco. Honestly, on target right now to win the Dally M. You know, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong with James Tedesco potentially win the Dally M. He was very close before it went behind closed doors. Metcalf got injured, and Tedesco was the one who banks up the points for the Roosters. Ibrahim says another question: how will DCE and Sam Walker work? What? Well, hold on a second. I don't think Daly signed anywhere, did he? I don't think he's actually officially signed anywhere. That was just all rumours and stuff, no? And Roosters will pick this ball up here at the 5 and brings it out here to the 15. Damn, you can hear the drums well here. Is that must be Luke? That must be Luke on the drums for the Roosters, because the Sharks definitely don't have drums. Yeah, I don't think that the DCE signing was official, though, was it? Or was it official? I might be wrong. Big boy now. Big boy, Jay. Big boy over here, mate. Professional. Third tackle now for the Roosters. And I'll bring it out here to the 30 on fourth tackle. Ibrahim says, where's now the Sharks are 8 cents in favourites? Have people lost the most amount of money and points bet out of any year considering the upsets? I would assume so. I would assume this would be a very rough year for the old punters, getting on favourites. But then again, you probably would have learned by about round 8-ish, round 8, 9, that like it's an upset season. So a lot of people probably more so getting on the upsets now. There haven't been as significant upsets recently as there were earlier on in the season, though. There definitely are still upsets, but it's just not as frequently as we were seeing. Like at one stage of the year, we saw, it was during Origin, a 5-game slate, and all 5 games were the upset. So the Sharks now, they'll bring it out here to the 50 on fourth tackle. Daniel says, how's the weather? Actually, it's pretty sunny now, I think. It was raining pretty badly before. Oh, it's not sunny, but it's like it's cloudy. It got sunny for a little bit, but no, it was pouring down rain before. Fit tackle for the Sharks at the 40. And Trindle puts this one into the corner. It's an okay-ish chase, but James Tedesco will grab the ball. So, yeah, the only ones out here for the Sharks are the 2 centres of Ramian and Kaoliro. Outside of that, they realistically should be winning this game. And if they don't, like, you wouldn't be looking at a premiership this year, that's for sure. Scotty, did you do a nudie run in the rain today? Didn't do a nudie run in the rain today. Didn't need to do a nudie run because I never made a bet to do a nudie run in the rain today. So I'm really surprised that Olivia said that I need to do a nudie run in the rain. Don't know if the Vietnamese people would truly appreciate that either, to be completely honest with you. But then again, maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they spice up the life a little bit. So the Sharks will now get this ball at the 12 through Will Kennedy, and he'll bring it out to the 25. Been a bit of a cagey start here in this one. Haven't seen a penalty yet. Haven't seen anything drastic yet. No line break or whatnot. And it's just been kind of tit for tat early doors just to see how both these teams are going. And they'll go out to Adam Fanor-Blake here at the 30. And then Sifa Talakai. And he'll take it out to the 40 on third tackle. Sharks probably have a little bit better field position though. Ronaldo Mulatalo brings the 50. I'm not too sure if the Roosters have actually got inside the attacking 50 so far in this game. And there's a 6 again, so that's huge. That is the first real kind of kicker in this game. 6 again for the Sharks, and they'll be first tackle now at the 40, and that's Adam Fanor-Blake with some great post-contact. He'll actually bring it to about 45 metres out. 35. Nico Hines, then off to Oregon Kafusi, and Kafusi, he'll get this ball to the 30, gets it off the way to Nico Hines, and Hines is away here out to the 25. Rolls it to Teague Wilton. Wilton breaks through a tackle. Jeez, the Sharks starting to get a bit of a motor onto this set. Bunmoy! How good's a good Bunmoy? Second tackle, Nico Hines to Britton Nakora, and Nakora is going to be 13 metres away here from the line. Third tackle. Blake Brayley, great run. That's a penalty. That's a bin. That is a professional foul, referee. That's a professional foul, referee. Oh, Will Kennedy's going to score anyway, but referee, hello. That was absolutely, and commentary said it too, like that should have been 100% a penalty and a sin bin just then for a professional foul against the Roosters. But it doesn't matter because Will Kennedy is going to score underneath the post and it's going to be 4-0 here with a kick to come. I'm actually astounded that Chad Townsend is complaining here because otherwise it should be a bin for one of your Roosters players here, Chad. Like, if this isn't a try, you should be coming back for this bin and saying there was a professional foul that prevented a try. He knew that he was out. If you look at the actions of the Roosters defender, I want to see who it is here. I want to see who it is. Number 12 there, is that Celeste Fiketti? That is Celeste Fiketti. So the reason why I 100% say that should have been a sin bin professional foul is because he's putting his hands up full well knowing, 1,000,000,000% knowing that he is out of play and he is not allowed to be involved in the defense. And yet he still makes the tackle about 2 seconds later, full well understanding he was called out. And then that was the only reason that they didn't score a try through Blake Brayley immediately. So I 100% think that the referee got that wrong. But with that being said, Will Kennedy has scored it anyway to make up for it, to make it 4-0 with a kick to come. And it will be 6-0 at the moment now. Put the whole Roosters team in the bin. Well, there's that option too, Mitchell. There is that option too. So last week, Nico Hines was 4 from 6. He's 75% from the season and career is at 78%. He will 100% get this though. If he misses this, I'm walking away. If he misses this, I'll walk away. Hands over the black dot. So it's 6-0. 7 minutes in. 6-0, 7 minutes in. But you know, it's funny, Olivia. So we have this joke on the channel that it's pronounced Bun Mai. And obviously it's pronounced Bun Me. But my brain, because for so long now, we've been having this revolving joke of the Bun Mai. I went and ordered a Bun Me the other day, and my brain just immediately thinks that I got to say bun. My brain's like thinking that that's now how it's actually how it's pronounced, and it's just not. So I need to force my brain to not go along with the joke of bun my when I'm out actually in public. So Oregon Kafusi, he'll bring this ball here to the 15 on first tackle. Sharks have definitely gotten off to the better start in this one, and you could argue that should have been a penalty against Nafahu Wai for not being straight at the marker. Brent says, bum eye! Exactly right. Exactly right, mate. That's what we're talking about. Third tackle here at the 30. Who's this Muppet ordering a bun my? Well, the thing is that they're never going to say anything, right? Because they're too nice. They're too nice to say anything, but yeah, that would be something that you would say, sir. But they don't really pull you up on it. But your brain has to really kind of get it back to normal. Did they give you a weird look? They did not give me a weird look. So second tackle, and knock on Roosters at the 25. Second tackle, and they will knock it on. The Sharks are well on top here in this first 8 minutes. Well on top, and Blake Brayley's having a brilliant start. He has had a brilliant start. Should have had a try to his name. Has had some great runs. He's really quick off the mark, and yeah, he doesn't play that ball with his foot. Sharkies have turned up tonight. Yeah, Brenton, don't go fool just yet, but I seen too much this team this year. I seen too much this team do jack nothing this year. So they were up 22-4 against the Bronx at half time before losing that game, and they were up decently against the Dolphins with 13 minutes to go and then allowed that game to be close. So don't get ahead of myself here with this Cronulla Sharky team. Don't get jack nothing ahead of ourselves. Braden Trindle, Nico Hines, Talakai, knock on Roosters. That's a penalty to the Sharks. Penalty for offside. But either way, it was a knock on. Like, you could consider the 2, but I don't think they take the 2 from out to the left-hand side. Brenton says this Muddy Bish team could scam us still, mate. It's nearly a guarantee they scam us. It's nearly a guarantee that they scam us. Well, I got to tip it to Sharks. Right now, if they keep playing like this, they'll win this game by a country mile. They play like they have in this first, 9-10 minutes here, and they will win this game very easily. They're actually going to take the 2 here, interestingly enough. We got there. I disagree with taking the 2 in this situation, but sure. Like, if you were right in front of the post, I get it, but like it's really actually quite intriguing this year. You have seen a lot more teams decide to take the Bulldogs. Not doing it was baffling. The Bulldogs were the only team who should have taken the 2 from the wing and decided not to and ended up losing the game because of it against the Panthers. But you're seeing a lot more teams this year deciding to take penalties from, out to the left and further out to the side in points of the game where you wouldn't necessarily expect it normally. But Nico Hines here, he should get this. It's just not usually what teams would do. And Nico Hines will get the 2s. But it's 8-0 here to the Sharks, 10 minutes into the game. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 30 minutes to go of the first half. Yeah, so much momentum too, Lucas. Look, again, I get it. And if they get the kick, it's great. If they don't get the kick, it's just like, well, why'd you do that? So at the end of the day, they did get the kick. So you can't really complain about it. However, now it's like, just don't knock on off this set. Do not knock on off the return set. That's the biggest pet peeve that I have with rugby league, is that and this should be for everybody, as soon as you score, you don't need to score again on the next set. Oh, that nearly went out in the full. But you don't need to score again on the next set. You just need to hold the ball so that you can keep this momentum up and keep the pressure on them. If you make a mistake, it just kills all the momentum. And fuck, that's exactly right. They did it. They knocked it on the first tackle. They knocked it on the first tackle, so now the Roosters have the ball at the 10, and that defeats the whole purpose of what just happened. Like I said to you last night, when you watch enough rugby league, you know what happens. When you watch every single game like we do here, you know what's about to happen. And right there is exactly what I was talking about. So Roosters will get the ball here 10 metres out. Unbelievable commentary, that. Well, Ian, that's what happens. We watch every single game, so we have a pretty good memory about how many teams have done that this season. It's all the time. 6 again. Roosters are going to be 7 metres out from the line. First tackle. It just grinds you. Because now if the Roosters score, it actually makes it worse that you got the 2-point penalty. It makes it worse that you did. Second tackle now, 8 metres out from the line. Because, yeah, sure, you're up 8-6, but at the end of the day, it makes it worse because they've received 6 points from you getting 2. Out to the right, and the Roosters, they're very lucky they're playing a Roosters team that makes a lot of errors themselves, to be fair. Fourth tackle, and that's going to be Nafahu White, and actually good defense from the Sharks. Fifth tackle, 1 metre out. 1 metre out, and there's an injury here for Cronulla. Who is this one who's down? It's Britton Nakora. I think he's alright. I think he's just a little bit rocked. So, Britton Nakora. Oh, he's gone to the knee. He's gone into the knee there. It's accidental. Nafahu White had to jump into the air to grab the ball. And, geez, you're still happy you took the 2 here, Cronulla, because he's going to have to come off for 15 minutes. You wouldn't be here in this situation if you hadn't have taken a 2 and got the 2, and then made a mistake, and then given the Roosters all the momentum. But Nikora's going to have to come off the field here for 15 minutes. Blitz says, never sure with this team still. Great start, but I still have a feeling. You are an Eels fan. You are not allowed to jump back onto the Sharks bandwagon, mate. You told us that you are an Eels fan. Crowds at capacity, all 56 seats filled. Yeah, big stadium, Shad Park. Big stadium. Massive capacity of about 11,000. Massive 11,000 seat stadium. All right, so Roosters here. Fifth tackle, 5 metres out. Everyone says always take the 2. Take the 2, but as long as when you have your set, then... that's good pressure. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, Tupa's just going to do him over on the left-hand side, and that is what I said. And that is what I said. If you take the 2 and you get the 2, for fuck's sake, all you have to do is not make a mistake on the set that you're about to receive. And now the Sharks have gone and got 2 points, but they've given up 6 points on the, or 4 points now because it's a hard kick from the sideline. But because of their decision making and then their lack of discipline and their error, they have now given 6 points to the Roosters off of their own 2-point penalty when they had all the momentum, they had the possession, they had the field position, they had an attacking opportunity 20 metres out from the line, and instead they take the 2, they get the 2, 10 minutes into a game that they're already up 6-0 in, but they would have been 10 minutes out with a whole fresh set. They get the 2, they go back up the other end of the field. All you have to do is complete the set, not make any mistakes. You don't need to score. They go and make the mistake, and then they go and lose Britain Nakora to an unfortunate injury that wouldn't have happened if they weren't in this situation because the ball would have been a completely different area of the field. And then also, mind you, they've then conceded 4 points here with the potential to concede 6. Like, dead set, Sharks. And it came from Adam Fanor-Blake, that error too, mind you. And Daniel Tupou is the best in the game for high ball. Tupou scored a couple of tries against the Sharks a couple of weeks ago, 5 odd weeks ago when they played. And that was against Morni Hiroti. Obviously, this time he's gone up against, I think... Oh, no, he's not gone up against Katoa, is he? Is he going up against Molotalo or Katoa? Junior Royce's Roosters 9+. Don't think so. I think this will be a very close game either way. So Sam Walker here from the wing. He was 4 from 4 last week. Difficult kick. And... well done, Cronulla. You've given up 6 points. 8-6 Sharks with 26 minutes to go of the first half. You are the problem, unfortunately, Cronulla. You are le problème. It's a good kick from Sam Walker. It was Daniel... Oh, wow, that's a mismatch today. Wow, that's a mismatch today. Daniel Tupou up against Sione Katoa. Sione Katoa, I'll give you their height difference. Sione Katoa height. Let's go have a look here. Sione Katoa is 1.8 metres, which is 5'11". And then Daniel Tupou, he's probably like around my height. He's more, 6'5". So a 5'11" Cronulla Sharks defender who's not known for being under the high ball is going up against a guy who is 6'5" and is the best in the game in the air. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck, lads. Good luck. I personally would have... Well, how tall is Ronaldo Molotalo? Ronaldo Molotalo... height. Is 6'3". I personally probably would have switched him today. I would have switched Molotalo out to Katoa's side. So I would have switched Molotalo, a 6'3" man, onto a 6'5" Daniel Tupou. Do I think that he's going to Sharks his ball at the 45 first, back to the 40 first tackle? Do I think that that will change a dramatic amount? And enough to kind of worry Tupou, sure. And yeah, obviously, like you want to keep your wingers in their normal positions, but at the end of the day, the matchup is the matchup, and 5'11" versus 6'5" is just not on. So third tackle here for the Sharks at the 50. Give Shark Part the grand final. Yeah, Mitchell, we were thinking about that, just without the thinking part, and we're never thinking about it. Fourth tackle here at the 40. Take the 2, then don't be shit. It's a really good analogy there, Seb Watson. Take the 2 and then don't be shit. Fifth tackle now at the 32. But this is why the scam. This is why the big scam. My partner is 6'8". 6'8"? 6'8"? Gee whiz. How does he even sit on a plane? I struggle sometimes at 6'2", 6'3". You know, there's no way he'd be wanting to sit he can't be sitting in economy on planes. 6'8"? Sitting in economy on planes, don't tell him to come to Asia and sit in economy, because in Asia it's like a 28 inches. So the regular for like in Australia is like 31, 32 maybe for economy on inches. Oh, knock on from the Roosters and the Sharks get the ball here at the 30. Knock on. Sharks will now get the ball at the 30. Mitchell says, maybe Molotalo will drop his rating in the new league game. Can't have that happening. Is he highly rated or what? Angus Crichton there with the knock-on, but the Roosters are very much known as a knock-on here, knock-on there, knock-on everywhere team. That's for sure. That is for sure. Get in here, Olivia. I'm sure he's got Tupou. Yeah, get him in. Get him in there, Olivia. He's a bottomless pit. The grocery bill is crazy. Yeah, the taller you are, the more you eat. All right, so Sharks here, 30 metres out. And they go out to the right-hand side through Sione Katoa, who is 28 metres away from the line, first tackle. Is this going to be a high-scoring game? 6 again for the Sharks immediately. And Chris Vieira, he'll be 23 metres away from the line. If you were betting on this game, you would have got on Tupou for a hat-trick. I think that probably would have been the case there with that height mismatch. Second tackle here, especially with the way those two guys play as well. Don't even bother kicking the ball out to Sione Katoa's side if you're the Sharks. And now Teague Wilton, he'll be 10 metres away from the line, third tackle. Mitchell says, I have no idea, I'm not a virgin that would spend $100 on the shittest game, mate. Dude, everything I see is just how bad it is. Adam Fanua-Blake is 5 metres away from the line, fourth tackle. And 6 again for Cronulla. Blake Brayley to Oregon Kafusi. Kafusi runs it to about 2 metres out. Can't get the offload away, was looking for it. First tackle, 2 metres away from the line. And now they give it to Trindle. Trindle at the back to Nico Hines. Hines here, short ball. Talakai. Talakai trying to get the offload. Can't do it. Knocked on by the Roosters. So another 6 again coming up. Molitalo picks it. And he'll be about 9 metres away from the line. First tackle. So 0 tackle. 8 metres away. And they give it off to McInnes. And McInnes is going to be 5 metres out. 4 set restarts the Sharks so far. 1 set restart the Roosters. Blake Brayley. Braden Trindle. Short ball. Great try. Teague Wilton. That's a great line. That is a great line there, and I think that was Trindle who passed it, if I can remember who I said. I think it was Trindle who passed that ball. That was a really nice line there from Teague Wilton. Breaks through the defense, and it's 12-6 here with the kit to come. 12-6 with the kit to come. Davo says, Panthers were paying $35 at the tab to make the top 4 about 5-6 weeks back. Yeah, that's great. They're not making the top 4. That's fantastic. that's unreal, mate. Well, that's great. So if you put $100 on that, you would have got back 0. So that's kind of what happens. It's kind of what happens with the old gambling. But the Sharkies will score and make it 12-6. Have you seen Rugby League 26? It's sick. It's sick. Do you have it? Rugby League 26 is shit house, mate. People can't even play it. They've paid $100 and they can't even play it. And then you get people coming out and saying, it's okay, wait for the updates. It's like, well, shit, man. Like, why is there updates? It came out yesterday. There shouldn't need to be all the, like... Why didn't they just wait for it to be ready before they make it? Now people can't even play it. Let's start the timer. The timer's out. Timer's out. Livy says, I saw the new Superman movie today. I highly recommend. I wonder where there would be cinemas around here. This isn't really... I don't know. Maybe across... I want to go see that. He's no Henry Cavill, but... He's no Henry Cavill. Yeah, wait for the update. Yeah, when the update happens, I'll wait for the update. So there you go, 14-6 here to the Sharks. 20 minutes gone in the first half, 20 minutes to go. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here. Sharks lead 14-6. They lead 14-6. But no, I'll be waiting for... When the update happens, I'll go buy it when the updates for that come out. So one said, I saw George Williams was rated 90, same as Farnworth, Trell, and Cam Munt. George Williams? Oh, you're talking about like when he's playing for... Oh, can you play Super League in the game, can you? It's rated 90, same as Farnworth, Trell, and Cam Munster. That will do me. George Williams being rated a 90 is something. That's definitely something. It's not necessarily something that I would have been something in, but it definitely is something. But that's not as bad as Jackson Hastings being 89. Also, I think Teague Wilton is the best back rower in the game, I believe. So that'll tell me enough I need to know about the game. So second tackle now for the Sharks at the 20. Speedy says, did you go to the Cowboys-Titans the other week? I went. It was a great game. It was a shit-house game where both teams are awful, but I've not been to a single game this year. I'm in Vietnam. Fourth tackle now at the 40. That time is well and truly rocking, Shay. It's well and truly rocking, the old timer. Love a good timer here on BK Sport. Fifth tackle at the halfway point for the Sharks. And Trindle will put this ball into the corner. And it'll be 5 metres out through Daniel Tupou. And he'll bring it to the 15 or so, first tackle. The Sharks' defense this year has been poor. Let's go have a look at the defensive ratings. So 382 points coming into this round they gave up, which is wow. The Roosters and the Sharks are the exact same team this year, lads. But, actually, no, incorrect. The Roosters have played 16 games, the Sharks have played 17 because the Roosters have had their 3 byes. So... Oh, another mistake by the Roosters. What was I telling you guys? They are one of the most error-ridden teams in the comp. You've got the Knights and you've got the Cowboys, but I can promise you right now, the Roosters are not far behind. This happens every single week. It happens every single week. But they still usually win games. Not against big-time teams, but this is what happens with the Sydney Roosters games. They knocked the ball on a lot, man. Grass McGrath, big Roosters player. Big Roosters player. Grass McGrath, big shout-out. I don't know if we've ever shouted out Grass McGrath before in the channel, but he deserves a big shout-out for Roosters games. I'm actually going to confirm this for you. I'm gonna make sure that you know I'm not talking shit, and I'm going to tell you the worst teams for defense for errors this year. So errors was negative play. The Cowboys are at 237. That's with that is with 18 games played, so 2 more games played than the Roosters. Oh, have that? Excuse me? Have they changed that to a? They changed that to a penalty? Are you off your rocker? You're off your rocker that that's a penalty. They've just said he went past the horizontal. That's insanity. That is absolutely insanity. Flames players says show us the game. Flames players, how about you get a job? Ibrahim says the game is shit. Tino should have been 99. Should have been 100, mate. Don't underrate him. They changed that to a penalty, so it's Roosters' penalty instead of the knock-on. But through 18 games, the Cowboys have got 237 errors. Another penalty coming up here for the Roosters here. Oh, yeah. Give it to him, Todd Smith. Get him back in the game. Get him back into the game, Todd. So through 2 extra games, the Cowboys have 237 errors. The Knights are at 220, and that's through 17 games, so 1 extra game. And the Roosters, with their 16 games, have given up 205. So they're in the top 3 for the most errors. However, they've already made a couple of errors here today, and they're not going to be too far behind. They'll probably, my guesstimate will be between 13 and 15 errors today. That's what the Roosters' play style is, which will put them where the Knights are with a game in hand against them. So, it tells you enough about where the Roosters have been. So first tackle here for Sydney, and they are 38 metres away here from the line. Victor Radley, he'll now be 31 metres out, second tackle. David says, have you ever been in New Zealand? Were you not watching the channel last year? Were you watching the channel last year, man? I was in New Zealand last year for the Titans game. Third tackle, we won 27-24 on Anzac Day. Third tackle, Connor Watson gives it to Sam Walker. Sam Walker will be taken down 13 metres away. Fourth tackle. Brenton says, we aren't the worst. There you go. That is true. Roosters now 5 metres out of the line. Really tough pass to catch, but they got it. If I'm the Roosters, just kick the ball to Daniel Tupou. Just kick the ball to Daniel Tupou is what I would do. Or they'll just pass the ball to Daniel Tupou, or they'll just score it themselves. Oh, wow. The Sharks have found a way to defend that, but it's a forward pass there from the Roosters. There's another error for you. But anyway, to go back to the previous point, through 16 games for the Roosters and 17 games for the Sharks, 382 points both teams have conceded. The exact same. And the Roosters have scored 403. The Sharks have scored 390. So the Roosters' attack is better than them because they've played 1 less game, but they've scored 13 more points. But the Roosters' defense is worse than them because they've got the exact same amount of points given up, however, with 1 less game. And obviously, this game is going to be another 17 and 18. So there'll still be a game behind, and they're already probably going to go below them right now. Abigail says, go the Roosters. Breton says, we aren't the worst that you go. That is true, but also let's just remind you that they are in the top 2 right now. They are in the top 2. So Britt Nakora has failed his HIA, so he will not be back today. How'd that 2 points go for you, Sharks? That 2 points go all right for you? Not only did you score, you got 2 points, which is great, but you also conceded 6 points off the back of it and also lost your star international back rower in Britain Nakora effectively off the back of it. Step says, give it to Chad. Don't know how much I'm going to be giving it to Chad today. Second tackle now at the 23. Second tackle. And now Daniel Tupou to the 30. Step says, Tom Eisenhuth 90 as well. I think Tom Eisenhuth retired, didn't he? Didn't Tom Eisenhuth retire? Night Rider says, I'd rather play Russian roulette in Bangkok with escorts than play the new rugby league game. Sounds like a little bit of spicing up in your life is happening, I'm going to, for legal reasons, tell you not to do that, but also, spice it up maybe, potentially, allegedly. Sione Katoa at the 20, and it'll be first tackle. Sniffy pot out early today. Oh, God, no, it's in my room. I can't get the old herbal inhaler out. I'd have to go in there. Maybe at half-time I'll go grab my herbal inhaler. Maybe that'll fix my nose, my runny nose. Third tackle for the Sharks at the 33. Maybe, you know. And that's a penalty for the Shaggy Sharks. Penalty Sharks. Todd Smith, well done. I can't believe you've done that, considering that you made a baffling call before. Can't believe it. I'm shocked. Shock horror. Mitchell says that gets called forward, but the ones in Origin didn't. Some great refereeing we have. In Origin, 4 passes don't exist, Mitchell. They don't exist. Or when the Broncos are playing the Warriors in preliminary finals. Daniel Teichman with the $5 donation get around you says, your thoughts of the CEO who got caught cheating at the Coldplay concert. Firstly, appreciate you for your donation. And secondly, they're in public, man. You know, like they're in public. I can't believe you would be so brazen about it, especially at a concert where the cameras are always on the crowd at Coldplay concerts. Or just in general. Like, there's always going to be cameras on the crowd to see reactions. Braden Trindle and Nico Hines out the right side. Siona Katoa. Katoa here at the 15. Slips over. 15 minutes out, third tackle. So it's like, it is what it is, man. And Coldplay have saved one man and one woman. Not the ones on the camera, but the ones who they were married to. Fourth tackle here for the Sharks at the 13. And that wife of the CEO, she'll be getting a payday. Blake Brayley, he's going to be 2 meters out from the line. Fifth tackle. Braden Trindle gives it to Talakai. Talakai sets back onto the inside here. Fifth tackle. He'll lose the ball and Roosters will get it, but it's going to go out here to the 10. It'll go out here to the 10. Knight Rider says Sharks are such a weird team. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. Bulldog says, who's winning, mate? Well, currently the Sharks are winning 14-6. I tipped the Sharks before the game started 1-12, and I'm pretty happy with that. I could see a world, actually, the Sharks go and win this game 13+ with how it's played out. Sharks aren't making that many errors in comparison to the Roosters, and the Sharks aren't really an error-ridden team comparatively to the Roosters. This is Shark Park, where they haven't lost since like 2018 on a Friday night at Sharky Park. It used to be their best game. Every team has like a best time slot at home. And the Sharks used to be known as like a Saturday night at Shark Park used to be the hardest place to go. Nowadays, it's kind of the Friday night early game. The 6 p.m. game on a Friday is the one that they love the most. They don't lose many on Friday nights at home. But Saturdays at Shark Park, it's still tough, but I wouldn't say it's as menacing as it once was. You know, like for example, Broncos on a Friday night at Suncorp has always been kind of their gig. They're not really a good team on Sundays at 4 p.m. even at Suncorp. They've thrown the ball backwards here, and it's Molitalo who's going to run this ball out to the 30, second tackle. He went from a billionaire to a millionaire overnight. That's how it rolls, Daniel. That's how it rolls. If you're a billionaire, you should be a lot smarter than what he was doing. Could have been worse. At least he wasn't caught in a toilet cubicle with another guy. That is true. Blake Brayley's away here. Oh, try time for the Sharks coming up. Try time for the Sharks coming up. Try time for the Sharks. Nico Hines out of the pose. Will he get there? Yes, he will. Blake Brayley is playing incredible footy recently. He's been having a really good year. And Nico Hines comes through there, follows it up. They had a 3-on-1. Tedesco didn't know where to go. Right, left, back, up, down. Sayonara, son. The Sharks will score again through Nico Hines, and it's 18-6, and it's about to be 20-6 any moment now. Bulldogs King says, I love bloody Rooster. I reckon they are win grand final with Kiraz and bloody Kristen and millions. Yeah, that's a good one, mate. That was really nice. That was really nice. Don't know what on earth you just said, but you said something, and I respect it. I respect it, but it didn't make any sense while saying that. So Nico Hines will score right next to the post, and it's about to be 20 points to 6. Let's go, Nico. Let's go, Nico. Let's go, Nico. Captain goes down with his ship, and I never gave up on him. I always said to you, they're on scam, but a captain goes down with his ship. Hey? I tell you what. Captain goes down with his ship. Bulldogs King says, I love you. Yeah, no, I know, mate. I know, you're only human. David says, you had the Sharks on scam. Is this still the case? Well, if they win this game, they go to fraud. But if they lose this game, they go off the Richter scale scam. I tip them for first pre-season. I get caught a Muppet, and then now they sit in like a 10th position, and the Muppet, people calling me a Muppet, have been proven correct. But I tell you what, if they start to rock it home, and they win the comp from here, oh my gosh, you'll never hear the end of it. You never hear the end of it. And Nico will score the conversion, and it is 20 points to 6 for the Sharks. 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes gone here in the first half. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Bang, bang, thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Marta says Brayley's a gun. He's been incredible today. He was incredible last week. Brayley has, I would argue, been the Sharks' best player this season. I would argue he's been playing some real. The play the ball speed today has been incredible from Brayley. I can remember with that one inclusive 4 specific runs today in the first 30 minutes that have really defined kind of the player that Brayley is with that quick play the ball speed. Ibby says Sharks will win the comp. Okay, well let's not get too ahead of ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I'll back ya. Captain goes down this shit, mate. I predict the Sharks pre-season. I back them in now, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We have seen this Sharks team lose from this point of the game, up like 22 points to 4. Oh, Brayley again with a great pass to Will Candy, the 35 third tackle. And that game that I'm referring to was like 3 weeks ago against the Broncos. So let's not get too crazy now. We get a little bit crazy. Mitchell's, good offload. Now Brayley again with the ball at the 50. Gives it to Toby Rudolph. Brayley's just everywhere at the moment. 40 metres out from the line. 4 tackle for the Sharks. They've been all over the Roosters today. It's like a get-back game for that embarrassment the other week. Oh, Katoa here. He's beaten out Tupou. Where's the bounce? Oh, but Tedesco was waiting back there and he gets it. Gee, Sharks are all over the Roosters right now. They're all over him. All over him. Sevon says, Bulldogs not the best at the Old English language. The Old English language is a tough one. Yeah, very much a tough one, especially with the old Bulldogs, King. Infinite Kiwi says, hit the like animals. Yeah, you animals. Get a grip of yourself. Hit the like button. Get a grip. It's probably dazzling his burner or lagging. Lagging doesn't mind a good old burner. Tedesco taking down fit tackle at the 33. Maybe this Sharks team is starting to click. Maybe they are starting to get a bit of a click going. 13 missed tackles for the Roosters. 3 missed tackles for the Sharks. They are killing this first half. The Sharks are annihilating this first half. 3 missed tackles in 31 minutes is perfect. That's some brilliant stuff. Brenton says, ever since Blissy started going for the Eels, the Sharks have done well. Yeah, we're never letting him live it down too. He decided to go for the Eels. Hey, Sharks fans in the chat who's watching this video, whether you comment on these streams or not, I just want to remind you, if you ever see a man named Blitzy, with B-L-I-T-Z-Y, comment in the chat saying, go the Sharks. He's not a Sharks fan. He told us when the Sharks were not going well, he jumped on the Parramatta Eels wagon. You know what I mean? He jumped off the Sharks to go for the Eels. What's wrong with you? Eels are like a wooden spoon. Alongside the Titans, Rabbitohs and all that. Roosters will grab the ball here at the 5. And no, they won't because it'll be a penalty to the Sharks. Connor Watson tackled on the player after he kicked it. So that is a penalty, Cronulla. Don't go for the damn well 2 here, Sharks. I'll flip out. I'll flip out if you go for the 2 here. If you go over the 2 here. So yeah, Sharks fans, don't ever let that Blitzy Muddabish here in this chat, don't ever let that man try and tell you he's a Sharks fan. He said he'd go for the Parramatta fucking Eels. You know, like, surely you'd choose, like, I'll go to Dogs then, I'll go to the Raiders, I'll go for the Storm. He goes to Eels. Oh my gosh. First tackle here, 5 metres away. Nico Hines, short ball, knock on from the Sharks, and the Roosters will get the ball at the 5. Give it to Nafahu White, he'll be at the 15. Jay says, Eels bandwagon. We couldn't afford a wagon. Please bring own roller skates. Yeah, but like if you're supporting the Eels, if you're jumping on that, like the roller skates need to have, like, you know how they just get really worn out, and that's kind of what this Eels team has been for the last couple of years. But it's like roller skates. One wheel's like half cut. You know how sometimes you lose half a wheel, and then all the other wheels are really, worn down. That's what you kind of need to have if you're jumping on the Eels. Yeah. Sam Walker over the top here. Good passing. Daniel Tupou down the wing. And Tupou will get the offload away. Sam Walker here. He's got Tedesco underneath. And Tedesco's going to score out of nowhere. Out of the mistake from the Sharks. The Roosters are back into the game. 2 errors for the Sharks. And that's 2 times the Roosters have scored. The Roosters have scored twice now off the back of Sharks errors. Twice now off the back of Sharks errors. Everyone says the Eels wheels would be square. That's true. So Tedesco, he gets it to Sam Walker. Sam Walker then, great pass, cut-out pass across, and Daniel Tupou just makes a meal of that, does nicely. No, nice little steak dinner. Gets the ball to Tedesco. Gets the ball to Sam Walker, who then gets the ball to Tedesco. So there we go. 6.5 minutes left of the first half, and the Roosters within 10. Yeah, it seems like we've got a couple of 15-year-olds trying to get in the chat. You aren't going to get the reaction that you want, lads. I don't really know what you kind of want to do here. Like, you're not going to get... I know you want to come in and troll, but I don't understand what reaction you want from me. Do you want me to get angry? Please tell me if you want me to get angry, and I'll get angry for you. All right? So 6 minutes to go here, first half. If that's what floats your boat and that's what gets you going, I'm happy to assist you, mate. I'm happy to assist. Mitchell says his angry pills take away all his common sense. That is true. Someone says, what language are we talking in here? This is why we know it's like a bunch of children. Jay says, what about those shoes in Africa made of tie of tread? They'd be the cheapest option. Jay, you are very well renowned, eh? You know things that I don't even think they know about. 15 is pretty old to be acting like this. Yeah, but like Gen Z is Gen Z, mate. So there we go. Actually, when is Gen Z? So 20 to 12 here, the Roosters get the conversion. It's 5.5 minutes to go. When would Gen Z be? Because I'm millennial at 31. Is Gen Z like... Wait, maybe it's even younger than Gen... Isn't there like one below Gen Z too? I don't know, mate. I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to figure out. Jay is an 8th African. He is. 97 to 2012, I'm pretty sure. Oh, 97 to 2012. Jeez, if you're born in 2012, you missed everything, mate. You missed the whole plot. You missed everything in life. You missed everything. You missed out at 9/11. That was a crazy time. Up the Gen Y gang. Oh, Gen Y. What's Gen Y, Brenton? I know there's Gen Z, and I know there's the old baby boomers at the top. You got the millennials. Is Gen Y like the one above me? Maybe. Dasmate says I'm Gen Z and I'm 04. 04? You missed Y2K, mate. That was the greatest time in history, Y2K. Y2K, what a time to be alive. I was like 6 years old. So I was 5 years old, actually, going on 6. And they get the ball across here again. Oh, Sharks, don't do it again to yourselves. But the Roosters will be inside the attack and a half. Fit tackle. Sam Walker gets it across here to Chad Townsend. Daddy Chatty. And Townsend, the ball is going to be allowed to bounce. What is Kennedy I might throw up. If that was a try, I might have thrown up. If that was a try, if Kennedy had let that bounce and that was a try, I might have physically vomited. But they're going to check this just to see who knocks this ball on. Because Molitalo does grab it in the end. They're just going to check to see if the Roosters knock this ball on. And that's a knock on Roosters. Rob Toya will knock that ball on. And it's going to be 7 tackles set for the Sharks. Come off the 20. Jay says, millennials were in there also. Only a few years for them, I think. Around 2000. I'm pretty certain I'm millennial, no? All right, so the Sharks here will get this ball to the 28-0 tackle. Desmond says, my glorious king, Josh Giddey, will get the bag. He won't fumble it like Dennis Scrotum. Yeah, I do think Giddey gets paid. I think that the Bulls would be silly not to, especially considering that like they're a basket case anyway. Third tackle, Gen Y is 85. So Gen Y is the one above me, yeah. Who wins Canberra or Para? Really? Are we doing this? You asking me this question. Who wins Canberra or Para? Really? Really? It's a great question, just with the great part, but it is a question. Fit tackle now for the Sharks at 30. You're really asking me who wins between the first place Canberra Raiders and the 15th placed Eels that have given up more points nearly anyone's ever seen before. You're asking me who wins out of the Raiders and the Eels. Deary me. Hey, did you all hear about the Giddey half-court full-time buzzer beater? I heard about that one, JN. It was nice. It was not too bad, eh? Real keeper says camp 40+. Yeah, at half-time. 4th tackle here at the 15. 3 minutes to go the first half. Only an 8-point game, though. And Nafahu White brings his ball out of the 25. Yeah, that's a good point, Ibrahim. Should ask Blitzy. He's a big Eels fan. Mitchell says, if Giddy gets the 30 million he's asking for, I'm signing my name up to the draft. Mitchell, don't you start insulting the greatest player that ever did play. O says, get out. What do you expect us to say here, man? The Eels are in 15th position. The Raiders are in 1st position. And were you really thinking we were going to say the Eels to win that game? And this is like a genuine question. Like, obviously we're taking the piss out of it because, like, if the Eels win, it's an upset. And I don't say that no team can get an upset. But, like, I don't understand what you expected us to say. Like, you're lucky that we didn't roast the Eels more than we probably could have there. Because they're taking on the number 1 place team in the competition this year. So again, if it's an upset and it can happen. But there's absolutely no way on God's green earth that I'm tipping the Eels to even be within 13 points of that game. So I really don't understand what you kind of were wanting there. You cheated the Cat to win 2 wooden spoons in a row. Roosters will knock that ball on here at the 10. 81 and 96 is Millennials. Yeah, I'm 94, so I'm the back end of it. So they're going to say this is a knock-on, but they're going to challenge you to see the Roosters. I think they're trying to say this comes off his knee. Oh, they're claiming Cronulla got a touch first. Real Keeper says, I was being serious. 50-4 Raiders. 4 points is generous. No, I think it'd probably be like a 30, maybe 40, 36-40 points for the Raiders and maybe like a 12 points for the Eels, maybe. It's not like the Raiders defense is absolutely spot on, incredible. So the challenge here with a minute 53 to go the first half. Nwanga to Wase comes up. Teague Wilton there as well. Will he touch it? Oh, probably his pinky. Yeah. Yeah, the right-handed Teague Wilton touches it. So it is going to be a knock-on here from the Sharks, and it will be a successful challenge for the Roosters. That'll be a successful challenge. I hate him. I was holding in my rage. Who do you hate, Olivia? He's such a troll. Oh, this O's dude. Oh, yeah. Well, Jay's hitting him anyway. But it's like, I just don't understand what people like expect as a response. Our lacking a response is probably what should have told you what our thoughts were, to be completely honest with you. Second tackle now for the Roosters at the 25. And now third tackle for the Roosters at the 20. Daz, I'm thinking about tipping South. Still or nah? Probably nah, eh? Probably nah, Daz, mate. It's probably what I would suggest there, maybe. Potentially, occasionally. Definitely today, though. So, fourth tackle for the Roosters. They go quick, left-hand side. Good pass. Roosters still going here. They're finding some good space down this left wing. That is not a good matchup, Sharks, defensively up against that Roosters left edge. And Sam Walker will drive that one up high in the air. Let's see if Kennedy actually decides to go for a catch. He does, but it's a knock on from Roosters, and it's going to be Sharks ball. No, it's going to be a knock back from the Sharks, they say. So first tackle, Cronulla. 15 metres out. Now Sione Katoa's second tackle to the 20. 49 seconds left of the first half. Gen X between 1965 and 1980. Gen Y, 81 and 96. No, millennials are 81 and 96. Don't you give me no Gen Y. Don't you start giving me no Gen Y, said was it? I'm a millennial. I'm just looking at Brad Schneider at halfback and I want to delete the NRL app. That's a great point, but also good luck with the fullback situation at the Rabbitohs tonight. So fifth tackle here for the Sharks. And Trindle will just kick this ball over the sideline. And that, my friends, is going to be half-time. Half-time. That will be half-time. There's 7 seconds left, but they're not even going to bother packing the scrum here. Latrell's named. Hi, Daz. Latrell's not playing tonight. Oh, they're going to get one play here. They're going to get one play, and no, they're not. I don't even know why they forced them to play that when it was pretty clear that it wasn't going to be happening. But half-time is 20-12 to the Sharks. Not as many errors for the Roosters as you'd probably be used to, but still defensively not too sound. Sharks were clearly the better team there at the first half, but the game is still within well and truly enough reach. Well and truly enough reach here for the Roosters to get themselves over the top. But let's get into these two team stats here at halftime. Obviously, guys, Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and recognise that these next stats that I'll give you are a guide. They will update at halftime, so they will chop and change as I go through them. And also, just a worrying thing here with the Sharks, you have led at halftime against a couple of teams of late, and you haven't necessarily won the game. So, and even last week, you were up 14-0 or whatever, and the Dolphins came rocking them back. So just be careful thinking this game is well and truly over. But the possession is 57% for the Sharks, 43% here for the Roosters, with 14 minutes and 41 seconds of time in possession for the Sharks, 11 minutes and 23 for the Roosters. Completion rate, very good for both these teams. And this is what I'm saying, the Roosters actually aren't as bad error-wise this week as they have been previously for the majority of the season. 87% is incredible for the Sharks at 21 from 24. Anything above 80% is very good, and anything from 78 to 80% is pretty much average and what you would expect. Anything below that's not good. 87% is very good at 21 from 24, and then the Roosters aren't too far away, 83% of 15 from 18. So that's a pretty good completion rate for both these teams. Now, this is the difference maker here. So, runs-wise, 98 runs here for the Sharks, 75 runs for the Roosters, with 973 run meters for the Sharks and 676 run meters there for the Roosters. So, a pretty massive gap of about 300 meters. 300 meters as a gap between the two teams. But to equal it out, if you give the Roosters the same amount of possession, same amount of ball as the Sharks to get to 98, that is 85, 95, that's 23 runs as a difference, and then you average it out at 10 meters per run on average, so that's 230 meters you try and give the Roosters to equal out what they would be getting on a similar level with the amount of ball. It's not a perfect metric, but it's a metric to have an understanding if they have a similar amount of ball. So 676 meters is what the Roosters are on. Give them 230, 776, 876. They would be at about 906 run meters, the Roosters. Now, the Sharks are at 973. So the Sharks are dominating the run meter department. Even if you equate it, they're absolutely dominating it right this very second, but they would dominate it even more significantly if the ball was equated to 98 runs apiece, 973 to about 906. So the Sharks are well and truly atop there, but the actual number is 973 to 676. Now, the post-contact meters is 292 for the Sharks, 236 there for the Roosters. The Sharks would probably just be ahead. Post-contact, the metric is a lot harder with post-contact. It's very different to run meters. But the Sharks would probably just be ahead despite the 23-run gap. Line breaks is 3-1 Cronulla. Tackle breaks is 19-7 Cronulla. That's huge. That is really good there for Cronulla. The average set distance, anything underneath 25, you turn the stream off. 25 to 30 is, you wouldn't even spit at it, disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is average, what you would expect. 40 to 45 meters on average is very good. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is unbelievable, perfect first half. Now, the Sharks are at 40.56, so on the extremely low end of a very good average set distance. It means that every set, they're on average going for 40.56. That's very good. It's very low end, but it's still very good. And the Roosters, on the other hand, they're at 37.87, so about 3-odd meters behind the average set distance, but it's on the mid to upper range of just an average set distance. It's nothing too spectacular. It's not awful. They're just doing their part, making their way. So the Sharks are definitely appreciating that a little bit more, but it's not too drastic. It's not too drastic of a difference. Average play the ball speed, 3.63 seconds for the Sharks surprises me. 3.38 seconds for the Roosters. So 3.38 is getting to the faster side, but it's still pretty average of a speed. It's nothing too insane speed. And then 3.63 is actually quite slow with the play the ball speed. And watching Blake Brayley here today, he has picked the ball up really quick and gotten some really good space from just going underneath and straight on through. And he's nearly scored. He should have had a try early doors because of it, but there was an illegal action that didn't get picked up on. At the end of the day, we've seen Blake Brayley decimate the Roosters from inside underneath where the ruck is. So I'm surprised it's at 3.63, but that is a relatively slow play the ball speed overall. So the Roosters are having a bit of a better time with that. Offloads is 5-2 Sharks way. You go to the kick defusal, and it is 100% for the Roosters, 0% for the Sharks. Yikes. And then you've got no forced dropouts in this game. Now, here is a big key telling point of this game so far, which is why the Sharks should be a little bit concerned this game is as close as it is, considering how good this is on a comparison. But also, the Sharks, two of the Sharks' errors have been the reason for the Roosters scoring twice. So both of the times the Roosters have scored, it's come off the back of Sharks' errors, not off the back of the Roosters individually. Obviously, that's not taken away from the Roosters' tries, but the Sharks' errors is what's given the Roosters the opportunity. Now, on the defensive effective tackle percentage on an individual level, it's not necessarily a collective, but it's more of an individual collective in a way. I don't know if I explained that right. But anything 88% and below, 88% to 85% is just not good. It's not great. Anything below 85% is disgusting. 88% to 90% is on average what you would expect, and then anything above 90% is an unbelievable defensive marker. So effective tackle percentage for the Roosters is 86.55%. They are not hitting the mark of 88. They're on the not very good section. It's just not great. They're missing a bunch of tackles and they've got a bunch of ineffective. 86.55% is not good enough, but it's not awful, but it's getting close enough to it. Tackles made is 206 for the Roosters, 19 missed tackles and 13 ineffectives. That's 32 bad tackles in the first half. That's no good. That's no good. 32 bad tackles, and to compare it with the Sharks in a second, you'll understand why it's definitely no good. But 32 bad tackles with an 86.55% effective tackle percentage off 206 tackles is very no good. So not great defense on an individual collective. Individual collective is a very big. It's like a hypocrite. I don't even know the word to say it. You can't say that. Individual collective makes no sense. But I understand what I'm trying to refer to, but it's hard to actually explain what I'm trying to refer to. Because it's mainly about the individuals actually with the tackles. But last night you saw with the Dolphins and whatnot, and the Cowboys, with the Cowboys and how bad they were, they had a very good effective tackle percentage here, which should have been assuming their defense was good, but you look at the game and you go, well, the Cowboys are awful, and the reason why they're not having many missed tackles is actually because there's so much space between the defenders that they're not missing the tackle because the tackle's not there to be missed because their defensive collective is really bad. So I don't know how to explain that to you, but overall, 86.55%, I'll explain that to you in saying it's not good. And then for the Sharks, they're at 94.8%, which is incredible. They're at 164 tackles made for 6 missed tackles and 3 ineffective. So you compare that with the Roosters, who are at 32 bad tackles across the first half, and then you've got the Sharks at 9 bad tackles, which is missed tackles and ineffective of 6 and 3. That is a near on perfect first half on an effective tackle percentage. So they're not missing their tackles. So the Roosters are doing well with a bit of the. They had a good broken down play with the pass out from Sam Walker. It was a bit of an individual brilliant try, actually, because you saw Sam Walker with a great cutout pass that went down to the sideline where Tupou broke away, and then ultimately got to Sam Walker and then got to James Tedesco. It was a really good worked move there from the Roosters off the back of that Sharks error. But overall, you can't complain with that defense at all because 94.8% is very good compared to the 86.55%. And then negative play, 4 errors to the Sharks, 6 errors to the Roosters. That's actually a low error count for the Roosters here at halftime. That's very low. They'd usually be about 9, 10. They would be. They usually are at like 8, 9, 10 area. They're at 6 right now. So Roosters fans, stand up and applaud your team at halftime. But 4 errors for the Sharks is really good. That's nothing. Anything under 5 is very good at halftime. Penalties conceded is 3-2 Roosters' way. Ruck infringements is 4-1 Roosters' way. And then on reports it's 2-0 against the Sharks. So overall, these stats are all in favour of the Sharks right now. And the biggest concern with that is that it's only 20-12. So despite the fact that they've got more possession, better completion rate, more run meters on a basic and then also at a equivalent level, more post contact meters on a basic and probably more equivalent level, more line breaks, more tackle breaks, better average set distance, more offloads. The kick to field's not great, but way better defensive effective tackle percentage, way less missed tackles, way less ineffective, less errors, less penalties conceded, and less ruck infringements. This game should be a blowout based off of those numbers. It should be a blowout for the Sharks based on these numbers, but it's still only an 8-point game. So it's a concern because, again, you look at that Broncos game from a few weeks back where the Sharks were the clear better team in the first half up at Suncorp and then ultimately ended up losing that game. So it's a worry, but I would still back in the Sharks to win this game. They just need to limit a few of those errors because, again, half of their errors, so they've had 4 errors, 2 of their errors have led directly to Roosters tries. So that's what you've got to look out for. Jack Fisher says, will you be happy if rumours are true and Willie Peters could get the Titans job? Okay. Dasmate says, Latrell's named. Good luck. Good luck. Luggins says, g'day streamer, how's the weather in the Nam? I'll see now. I'll have a look now. It's not very weathery. Well, actually, I would argue the opposite of what I just said there. It's actually too weathery right now. There's actually probably a little bit too much weather, and that is rain. Yeah, it's raining today, but it is monsoon season here in Asia. I haven't really... When I was in Thailand, it was monsoon season. It wasn't... You'd get like maybe 10, 15 minutes of rain, and then it would just go back to normal. And here, today's probably the worst of it. But monsoon season where I've been, here in Vung Tau, Ho Chi Minh, Hua Hin, even Bangkok, hasn't been too bad. Someone says, Jay, you're pre-1965, so not sure what gen you are. He is like a baby boomer. Like, I think they call him Fred Astaire. I think he'd be like a Fred Astaire boomer. That's what he would be. David Brian Pohu says, go to Roosters. Lagan says, what is rain? Typical Bulldogs fan, you know. Typical Bulldogs fan. That's what we've got to deal with. Yeah, that's what we've got to deal with here. Reese Hayden says, go to Sharkies. I'd probably not spell it like that. Like, you're not wrong, but I'd probably not spell it like that. Normally, you'd say go to Sharkies, Sharkies. But Sharkies with a Y looks a bit weird for me. Looks a little bit weird for me. I'd say Sharkies with an IES. Came for that game. Yeah, Rabbits versus Panthers. Yeah, massive game, mate. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, Craxy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Young Day says go to Chicken. Well, the Chicken right now is looking like it's getting a bit of a cook-in, but long way to go. Still a second half to go. Pick on J Day again. Jay, it's pick on me day every single day, you know? So I need to... Well, Skunkle's not here because he's virgining himself at the raid of some random game online, so we can't pick on him. You know, and Dazmate gets picked on just for being Dazmate a lot of the time, so don't worry, mate. Everyone cops it. Lag and Bullsacks, I don't think we've ever responded to him with a normal response ever in my life before. But that's well deserved too, though. Yeah, J is BC, Dazmate. So it goes BC, Baby Boomers, and that's as far as we go. Cause I don't think there is anything in between Baby Boomer and Millennial, is there? And I don't want to hear none of this comment about there's Gen Y and Millennial being the same thing. No, mate. No. That's not how it works here. I define it. He's playing video games with Jag. That is exactly what he's doing. And Eliza. But it is half time here at 20 to 12. I'm going to quickly run to the bathroom here, guys. So give me 1 second. Thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget, we will be live for the Panthers Rabbitohs game after this as well, but I'll be back in just a few moments. And I said, maybe, second half starting. Going a bit of one that saves me. This is going to be the greatest season of all time when the Titans come back to win a comp. Brenton says, ChatGPT doesn't lie, unless it's the Epstein files. Well, your English there has been messed up on both of them. But yes, ChatGPT has actually been well known to lie about a lot of things, actually. And that's actually a fact too. As the better old mate says that while he's on the toilet, he does not miss. It's baffling to me that he still tries to assume that he's taking it and it's good. It's man, as a content creator, you're meant to be a content creator, not a content stealer. He even messages me saying it's mine now. It's all right, mate. Truly. So the Sharks here, they'll start for the ball in the second half. First tackle at the 20 through Toby Rudolph. Hit that like button and subscribe. We're underway with the second half of a big, crucial match. Whoever wins this game goes into the top 8 this week. Whoever loses this game will finish off in 10th. And it's a really... Oh, Sharks here. Good run, but Molatalo will be taken down to the 40. They were looking for a sneaky little hole. They just couldn't get it. Blake Brayley goes short side, fakes it, then goes to the right, and he'll be at the halfway point. 6 again. That's huge. That is huge. Lagan says, all this age of gens is the exact same talk as what star sign are you? Well, not really. No. What? No. The different age groups definitely are different kinds of people comparatively. They've grown up in completely different eras compared to the star signs, which, you know, is very debatable on the actual meaning behind it, because you can argue a lot of things no matter what. Like, no, they're very different. You're off your rocker. Will Candy, CSC for Talakai, Mulatalo, now taking down 10 metres out, fit tackle. Fit tackle. And knock on from the Sharks. Knock on from the Sharkies. And it's going to be the handover to the Roosters at the 10. Desmond says, crazy because I remember Sam Walker being quite a shit goal kicker when he first entered the NRL. Crazy because I remember actually individually making Sam Walker miss. He was like 5 from 6 at Seabus or 6 from 7 at Seabus. And I'd like to remind the old Hainsey, where did he miss his kick from at Seabus? Where was the one miss that he had? Where was the one miss he had? It's a great question. It couldn't be in front of that drum man. Crazy jump, man. In Newey, from what I know of. Where's your coach gone? Yeah, no, Adam O'Brien is in the he's the coach of Newey. 4 tackle now to 40. Send him an email. That's a good point, mate. Emails are very big around these joints. Fit tackle here at the halfway point. Love a good email scandal. Massive. So Chad Townsend, he'll put that ball to about the 20, where Will Candy will grab it and take it down to the 21. He's got plenty of emails to respond to at this time. I don't know. I think they've probably cancelled his email address. Second tackle for the Sharks at the 30. I'm still waiting for Adam O'Brien to get re-signed for the next 10 years. It's going to happen. That is going to be a knock-on against the Sharks. And they can't... Did they lose a challenge before? I feel... No, they haven't. No, they are going to challenge it. Yeah, there was the Roosters who challenged and they were successful. So I think both teams will have their challenge. But the Sharks will challenge this. Give him 13 mil contract. I think so. 13 mil per year. So, I think he's probably just lost this ball, mate. I think it's just a loose carry here from Talakai. But we need to see the other angle. Connor Watson, to be fair, does come through and... Well... Yeah, I knew they were going to call this. I disagree with the call. I think that should be an unsuccessful challenge, but they are going to call it a successful challenge. They're going to say Connor Watson is still in the ruck. Well, was it last night we had a go at this? Was it last night we complained about this call? I can't remember. There was another game where I complained about a call like this. Maybe it was the Origin game. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's going to be a Sharks penalty now. Sharks penalty. Knights could make the 8 by 1 point differential and they'll get a 2-year extension. Now get a 5-year extension, mate. So the Sharks here, last night was getting up to play the ball. Yeah, there you go. Latrell and Origin was similar. No, I think I'm talking about last night's game. Second tackle here at the 28. There was something with it. Out to Braden Trindle. Oh, that's right. It was with the Cowboys Dolphins, and it was late on in the game when the Cowboys had an opportunity, I think, maybe. They were like coming in. I can't really remember. Anyway, so Blake Brayley off to Trindle. Trindle off to Braden Hamlin-Llewellyn. 4 tackle, 15 metres out for the line. They're just so inconsistent with the call. Blake Brayley, Nico Hines, and he'll take himself out of the 5th option play for no apparent reason. Fit tackle, 10 metres out. Blake Brayley. He goes out to the left to Trindle. Trindle now goes himself. That's a great step from Trindle, but that's also a fantastic defensive tackle there from the Roosters to stop a try. That is unbelievable there from Blake Steep. Blake Steep has just saved a guaranteed try from Braden Trindle. That was huge. That was actually huge. All right, so second tackle now for the Roosters at the 10. Nawanga to Wasay still going here. And he'll be taking down 12 metres out, second tackle. Wow, if Blake Steep didn't grab onto him there, that was not game over, but close enough. And now Daniel Supo, third tackle at the 18. And penalty. I was about to say they're not making a great deal of meters, but the Sharks will give away the penalty. Jeez, they just put themselves into their own worst enemies, Cronulla. Like, they've been so clearly, dominantly the better team here today, but they're just allowing the Roosters to hang around and to kind of the Sharks are leaving themselves so vulnerable in this game. One try to the Roosters brings them back within probably a 2-point game. One try brings them back in, and the whole context of the game just changes. Tedesco off to Angus Crichton. And now Roosters will be 42 metres out. Crichton's not really been having a great time this season, in my opinion. I don't think he's been having a big season comparatively to last year when he was incredible. Like, he's just walked forward like 5 extra metres after he called held. But anyway, so 36 metres out for the Roosters. Now Nafahu White. He'll be about 25 away. I think this is third tackle, but they don't have the tackle count on the screen right now. They get him at 6 again? Apparently 6 again. What's the R360 game people are talking about? I'm not sure. R360? I don't know. I've probably missed a joke here. And the Roosters are shippered. They've just thrown themselves over the... He's gone over the sideline. I can't believe that. I can't believe how ridiculous that is from Robert Toyer. I don't even know why he tried to go onto the right-hand sideline. I don't know why he's tried to back himself here. Like, that was never on. Robert Toyer, that was never on, and you were always going over the sideline. Yeah, he goes out before he throws the ball back on the inside. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Olivia says the one in Saudi. Yeah, I have no idea about this, man. I need to have a look at it. I need to check it out. I didn't hear about this until yesterday. Someone brought it up yesterday, and that was the first time I'd heard anything of it. So first tackle now. Saudi is just it's a random place for it to all happen, but it also makes sense because they've got too much money for their own good in Saudi Arabia. So they're trying to get every single sport in human existence to come out there. But I'm surprised they've even actually heard of rugby league, to be honest. So 30 metres out, third tackle. Like, rugby league is a very big game in our area, as in Australia, New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, Cook Islands, Niue, all those, Papua New Guinea. But it's not really massive outside of that, especially not over there in the Middle East. Unless this is like a... Wait, Roosters will get this ball here at the 15. Unless... I really don't know. I don't know how big the Lebanese, like, actually in Lebanon. Like, obviously a lot of the Bulldogs fan base is Lebanese, so maybe there might be a correlation there. And then I just don't understand where Saudi Arabia's kind of come into the picture. So Roosters now at the 25. Daniel Tupou, he'll be 34 metres out now. Still 32.5 minutes left. And good hit there from Teague Wilton. Keeps the Roosters at the 42, Blake Steep. Now fit tackle for the Roosters. They will be at the 44. They'll go out to the left, Sam Walker. Sam Walker steps. This is interesting. I'd just kick the ball here. And they do. And they kick it down towards Nwani Tawasa, who knocks the ball backwards. Where's the ball going to bounce up here for the Roosters? Oh, Chancy. Angus Crichton's going to score out of nowhere. And I tell you what, the Sharks off kicks today have been dreadful. Angus Crichton will score. And the Roosters are well and truly back in the game. 20-16 with the kick to come. Like, dead set. Damien says, who's dominating the second half? I hope it's the Roosters, please. I wouldn't say anyone's dominating the second half, but the Roosters just scored. Both these teams, like, the Sharks have been way better than the Roosters today, but they've allowed the Roosters to stick in the game based off of their own errors. Like, Nwani Tawasa, that was great. This is their first try they've scored off their own back here, the Roosters, really. Nwani Tawasa gets up, knocks the ball back, and it ultimately ends up in Angus Crichton's hands, and they score. The first two tries for the Roosters came directly off the back of Sharks' errors. Like, the Sharks have been very clearly the better team, but then there's individual lapses like this where they just fall apart. They just continue to fall apart. And it's like they should have, based off of the stats at halftime, they should have had this game wrapped up nearly. Like they were dominating in nearly every single stat. Yeah, unless they're going to say this is a knock-on from Nwani Tawasa. This might go a knock-on into Nwani Tawasa. This might be a no-try. It might go into the head of Siasifa Talakai. Oh, they've confirmed the try. They have confirmed it. So it is 20-16 with the kick to come. 20-16 with the kick to come. Breton says, Sharks going to scam us again? Question mark. Potentially, man. This is why I said, let's not get ahead. Let's not let people get too ahead of themselves. 30 minutes to go here of the game. 30 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe. Whoever wins this game into the top 8. Whoever loses this game will be in 10th position. The game says, geez, the Sharks are winning. Geez, have been winning the whole game. Scammy's back at it again. Yes. Well, not necessarily. They're still up by 2 points, but here's this Mark Alphabet in for a try assist. Nah, no wonder twice they won't get the try assist there, because that went back to, I think, Sam Walker, who then got the pass away to Crichton. I think it was Sam Walker. Or kind of was. I think it was Sam Walker. All right, so Blake Brayley, he'll be kicking this ball off. 2-point game, 30 minutes to go here. And yet, as Jay said, there'll be Panthers. I don't know why I said like just then. Panthers versus Rabbitohs will be live up next. So the Sharks kick it down into the corner in goal. And they get off to Spencer Leniu. Huddles fan, you are a fake Warriors fan, my friend. First tackle now for the Roosters at the 15. Jaden says, do you think we scamming tonight? Well, at the moment, maybe a little bit of scam. Maybe a little bit of scam here from Cronulla. A little bit of scam. It's looming. Have you scammed yet? Not necessarily, but if you lose, then it's a scam. If you lose, it must be a scam. They dominated the first half, but just we're still only up by 8 points. And now, within 11 minutes here of the second half, they've already allowed it to be a 2-point game. Like, I'm just not confident with anyone at the back for the Sharks. Like, Will Kennedy allowed a try. No, it wasn't a try, but he allowed the ball to bounce for 4, and nearly had been a try. And we've seen, like, Katoa be susceptible underneath it, but the Roosters haven't gone too much out to that side anymore. I don't know. Sharks are still a little bit all over shop. They're all just waiting in the defensive line right now, which is odd. Second tackle now for Cronulla at the 50. And he's lost the ball. Oh my gosh, Sharks. Oh, dude. I'm going to calm myself down for the time being, but it really is absurd that this team is always such a different team in the second half. It's just insane. Knock on from Sione Katoa, and this is going to be Roosters ball at the 50. Hey, Sharks fans, at least you know how Titans fans feel now. Can't hold a second half lead to save our lives. So completion rates now 82% for the Roosters, 83% for the Sharks. All right, Roosters now at the halfway point. Now it's going to be first tackle inside the attacking half at the 45. They go to Blake Steep, and Steep is going to be 40 metres out in second tackle. I said no, Sharks. Oh, yes, Sharks. This is what happens. This is what happens, mate. Roosters, third tackle, 32 metres out. How about that game last night? Hey, crazy being a Cowboys fan. The Cowboys are just awful defensively. Awful. Out to Sam Walker. Sam Walker he gives it to Tedesco. Tedesco nearly breaks through, and he'll be taken down 22 metres out, fourth tackle. The Roosters are definitely with the momentum right now. Sam Walker, he then fakes it to the left, goes out to Nafahu White on the right. And Nafahu White's going to bring it 10 metres away from the line on fifth tackle. Great run. And they go out to the left. Tedesco goes himself, but he'll be taken down to the 4. Not a bad chance there to run, but the line for the Sharks did look pretty solid, and they do get him down. They do get him down. All right, Sharks here, first tackle at 10. I was so surprised. Sean Johnson's on commentary right now. I'm so surprised that Sean Johnson actually, he's allowed to have an opinion, but I'm so surprised he posted about the Sonny Bill and Gal fight, talking about how the refereeing was incorrect and how bad it was, and Sonny Bill was clearly daylight robbery. Like, man, at least he openly admitted he didn't really know. Oh my gosh, the Sharks have knocked the ball on again. They've knocked the ball on again, lads. The Cronulla Sharks have knocked the ball on again, lads. Oh, dude, Roosters ball at the 25. Sharks 35. Sorry, Will Kennedy. Come on, man. Come on, Will Kennedy. So Roosters will get the ball here 35 metres away from the Sharks line. The Sharks are all over the shop. Logan Borsak says, I'm not sure if SJ has ever thrown a punch in his life. He's too kind to be talking about boxing. Well, it's just crazy. He's talking about daylight robbery and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, if you know boxing, you know it wasn't. The people who were saying it was daylight robbery and complete bias that didn't actually really recognize what they were watching. Kenny tripped himself up. Sure, like, yes, but also Chad Townsend with his hit knocked the ball out. It was completely fine, though. Like, it was just a knock-on from Will Kennedy, but Townsend with a good tackle knocked the ball out. All right, Roosters now. Spencer Leniu, second tackle here, 30 metres away from the line. Logan Borsak says, Hannibal Williams really only won round 2 and 8 anyways. I agree. Maybe 7 as well. Round 2, round 7 and 8 is probably at the max I would give him. At the max. Third tackle now at the 22. And Connor Watson, Sam Walker and Nafahu White. Nafahu White will be taken down at the 18 on fourth tackle. Yes, they are still using grab in Vietnam, right? Grab is pretty much all you use in Vietnam and Thailand. Knock on Roosters. The Sharks hit the ball up to Will Kennedy. And Will Kennedy's going to bring this ball out now to the 20 on zero tackle. Connor Watson, dude, you're lucky not to give away a penalty just then. Now first tackle, Sione Katoa. He's going to bring this out to the 30. This is a good momentum shifter here if the Sharks can complete this set. And penalty. This is a big momentum shifter. And it's deserved penalty too. You could clearly see the Roosters were getting done for numbers then. And they were a bit slow to get back. And unfortunately, Egan Butcher knocked that ball on. The Sharks got some quick play. The ball's going. And it will be a penalty to Cronulla at the 30. And this is where you just slow that play down right now, Cronulla. So Sharks will get the ball here at about the 50. Actually, exactly on the 50. All right, Nico Hines then gets it to Cameron McInnes. And McInnes is at the 45, first tackle. Second half missed tackles is 10 Sharks, 5 Roosters. So a bit of a switch up from that first half where the Roosters missed 19. I think the Sharks missed like 7. Might have been 6 actually. I think it was 6. Braden Trindle off to Toby Rudolph, and Rudolph will be third tackle at 24. They need a try here, that's for sure. They need a try here just to settle down the nerves. Nico Hines, right-hand side. Here's a chance here for the Sharks. Sione Katoa back on the inside. Taking out 3 metres out. Gee, that was a nicely set up play there from Cronulla. They're 3 metres away from the line. Sione Katoa rolls it back. Nico Hines now off to Jesse Calhoun. Yeah, Jesse Calhoun, 3 metres away, fit tackle. Blake Brayley and Nico Hines. Nico Hines to Braden Trindle. Trindle now. Good pass. No, it's not a good pass at all, actually. And that's going to be 6 again here for the Sharks. 6 again for the Sharks. I didn't even think the Roosters actually played at that, but it will be 6 again here for the Sharks. And now Sifa Talakai is 5 metres out, second tackle. 23.5 minutes to go. It's another 6 again here for Cronulla. Blake Brayley off to Nico Hines. Nico Hines now to Jesse Calhoun, and Calhoun is 4 metres away from the line. Blake Brayley, he gives it to Nico Hines. Hines, you can smell a try coming up. Oh, that's a high tackle. No, apparently not. Not a high tackle. I can't believe he didn't drop that ball there, to be fair. That's Chris Vieira. Now, Nico Hines, you can just smell a try coming up. They've got some significant momentum right now. They roll it back here to Blake Brayley. Brayley goes in himself underneath. Trindle, Nico Hines. He gets the ball offloaded. That's knocked backwards. Will Kennedy now kicks that ball through. Played up by the Roosters. 6 again for the Sharks. You have to score on this set here, Sharks. You just simply have to score on this attack and opportunity. They're 5 metres away from the line. First tackle. Blake Brayley off to Cameron McInnes, and he's 3 metres away now from the line. Second tackle. Blake Brayley out the back to Trindle. Trindle off to Jesse Calhoun. Calhoun runs through. I think it's a try time. He got away from the tackle, and that's a try. Jesse Calhoun. No, Billy Burns. Sorry, Billy Burns with the try there. He fell off the tackle for the Roosters, and Billy Burns will score a try underneath the post here, basically, to make it 24-8 with the kid to come. I tell you what, from a distance, Billy Burns and Jesse Calhoun look actually quite similar. But that is a try time there for Billy Burns. And yeah, it was back from McInnes. It was back. Like I can understand if Roosters fans are annoyed by it, but I would say that was back from McInnes. Anton says, thanks, Sharks go for the win. Full support here in Mount Hagen, Papua New Guinea. Get around your Papua New Guinea. Get around your Papua. But yeah, Billy Burns there with a try as the Roosters players fell off him. There's no way you're trying to say that was a double movement. The Roosters players did not complete the tackle, and Billy Burns will score right underneath. Right underneath. Ryan says, could go for a bun mai right about now. Get rid of bun mai. I tell you what, the bun mai's here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Davies is coming to Roosters. Well, that's not good for them. That'll be putting them behind by about 8 points. It'll be 26-18. Commentary, please stop talking about the Cameron McInnes potential knock-on because it's not going to do anything and you're just inciting Roosters fans to believe that it's a robbery when at very best it's probably 60-40 in Sharks' favour what that call gets made. At 60, they're going to show us here again. So McInnes facing backwards. It's 55-45 in favour of the Sharks. It's not a guaranteed knock-on there for the Roosters. So it's like, why are you continuously going on about it? It's insane. Vossi, as you said, he doesn't know what the protocols are there. Nice. Billy Burns looks like a hillbilly. Thank you, lagging. The try is confirmed, Damien, yes. So he's 26-18 to the Sharks with 20 minutes to go here of the game. A big game here in the context of the season. If the Sharks win this, they go into 6th position for the time being. If the Sharks lose this, they go into 10th. If the Roosters win this, they go into 6th position for the time being. If they lose this, they go into 10th. And we will only have 6 games to go in the season. The Sharks will have a bye to come as well. So they've only got 5 games actually to play after this, the Sharks. And that's why for this is a 6-point game for Cronulla, in my opinion. It's a 6-point game. Because if they win, they get 2 points. Also take 2 points from the Roosters, who are a competitive team in the top 8. And then also because they've got that bye, I think this turns into a 6-point game here for Cronulla, especially over the Roosters. All right, so the Sharks now will kick this ball down to the corner. Not a bad kick there from Trindle. A little bit of a tough one for the Roosters. No one into Tuasa. He does catch it. He's not known for being great under the high ball. And now they go out to the left-hand side of Rob Toya, and Toya will be second tackle here at the 33. And don't forget, we've got Panthers Rabbitohs right after this. Now the Roosters, they'll bring this ball out to the 40 on third tackle. Jeez, it's interesting how this one's going to finish up. Lagan says, didn't know a win gives you 6 points. Well, obviously it gives you 2 points, but you've got to think about the mental point of the other 4 points. Again, the bye... With the 1 second here, Roosters on the left-hand side, Daniel Tupou, he'll be at the 5th tackle at the 35. You've got to think, Sharks get 2 points, Roosters lose 2 points. There's a 4-point swing between those two teams immediately. The Roosters don't have any more buys. The Sharks, Roosters knock this ball back. Play on here. Play on. Have they called 6 again? Have they called 6 again here? I don't know what they've called here. It's going to be Roosters ball at the 5. This is 6 again. So it's 0 tackle here for the Roosters. 5 metres out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. All right, Roosters now. They'll be 5 metres out. First tackle. Jason, the halftime score was 20-12 to the Sharks. Out to the left-hand side to Chad Townsend. Townsend now to Tedesco. Tedesco, he gets away from a tackle. And they're going to be 5 metres out again. Second tackle. 18.5 minutes to go here in the game. Roosters down by 8. Sam Walker. Walker at the back here to Chad Townsend. Townsend all the way across. Now to Nwanga to Wase. And he'll be 7 metres away from the line. Third tackle here for the Roosters. Okay, defence for Cronulla at the moment. Radley, he'll get it across to Sam Walker. Sam Walker, that's a forward pass. That's a billion years forward pass. So no try for the Roosters, and that's going to be Sharks with the ball at 10. Sam Walker threw that ball so far forward that we've just seen Jared Goff throwing that ball all the way down for nearly a touchdown. But unfortunately, it will be a no try for the Roosters, and Sharks get the ball to 15. That is that's about 5 metres forward, to be fair. That's about 5 metres forward. All right, Sharks ball at 15. Ryan says, I'm new, I don't know the NRL at all, but who are the NRL GOATs this year? Context, what do you mean? Like, are you saying like who the best teams this year? Is that what you're asking? So it's Halakai now will be at the 15, first tackle. What kind of pass was that? A forward pass, Brenton. So you can't actually do that in the NRL, mate. I don't know if you know this, being an overcash stream, because you don't have much ball down there, but you can't actually get the ball and throw it forward. No, that's not how it works, Mr. Eslick. Not how it works. Third tackle now. Adam Fanor-Blake, he'll get this ball to the 40. Now the 42, and it'll be 4 tackle. I think if the Sharks score next, they probably wrap this game up. But if the Roosters score next, we're going to go down to the wire. Jason says, man, I literally just gave you the halftime score. I literally just told you what the halftime score was, Jason. So first tackle here for the Roosters is the 15. And now Egan Butcher, he'll bring it out now to about the 23. Second tackle, 16 minutes for you to go now the game. Mitchell says, Adam Dewey, Latu Fainu, Alex Twell, and Terrell May, Ryan. So, Mitchell, thank you for your acknowledgement there of 4 Tigers players, but he actually was probably now alluding to what your reply was, referring to the better players this year, and none of those were Tina Fa'asumalawi or Jojo Fafita, where you have been mistaken, because you can clearly see the Titans are first place on the table, and this is a very serious channel, Mitchell. So you're going to start thinking. You're going to start using the old noggin. You can see a team on top of the table. Let's start being smarter and not working harder. You know, got to work smarter, not harder, mate. So first tackle now for the Sharks at the 33. Breton says, oh, really well, maybe someone should tell Walker it's not AFL. Well, that's also a great point. Someone probably should do that, yeah. So the Sharks now, they'll get this ball at the 45 on second tackle. 15 minutes and 50 seconds to go of the game. Off to Molitalo. And Molitalo, who'll be the 48, hasn't featured too much here today. Enjoy the dog, Jay. Enjoy the dog. Out to Adam Fanor-Blake, and Fanor-Blake is going to be at the 40 on 4 tackle. The good thing here for Cronulla, and the 2 points is coming in quite handy right now. It's just that, unfortunately, the situation at the time didn't look pretty. But that 2 points is coming in clutch to make it 8 points at the moment. And Roosters, Tedesco, safe under the high ball, taking it out at the 10 on first tackle. Mitchell says those cats have nothing on Alex Seyfarth. Wow, you're saying Adam Dewey, Latu Fainu, Alex Twell, and Terrell May have nothing, and they're all cats and they've got nothing on Alex Seyfarth. Wow, that's a big call as a Tigers fan. It's a big call. So Roosters attacked on the left-hand side. They've got space, and they hold the ball, and that's going to be Roosters now at the 25. It was actually a good play, but they had Egan Butcher out in the wing just then, which was weird. They're really loving this short side flank through Sam Walker. It's just not really working out. Out now, Zakadoka Clay to Chad Townsend. Ball hits grass. Nawani Tawase will not be able to get the ball. Chad Townsend, this is why you are not in the team. Because that pass was dreadful, and it goes to Grassy McGrass for a turnover. The Sharks now have a prime opportunity to not end the game, but pretty much end the game. No, that pass from Townsend went to absolutely nobody. Hits the grass and goes over the sideline. It just wasn't good. Grass McGrath, Dally M fave. Dally M moral, Olivia. Dally M moral. Tedesco's not getting anywhere close to Grass McGrath. Not getting anywhere close. So tackling opposition 20 Sharks, 27-16 for the Roosters. And Nico Hines gives it off. Billy Burns, 15 metres away. Chad will be in 96 and lead 26. That's really underperforming on what his actual numbers would be. Oregon Gafusi, second tackle here, 10 metres away. Actually, what is Chad Townsend ranked on Rugby League 26 for anyone who knows? Blake Brayley, he goes back to the right, off to McInnes. McInnes and Nico Hines. He gives it then again to Viaila. Try time for Cronulla. 30-18 with a kick to come. Chris Viaila. I think he's on debut here too. And he scored his first try. Chris Viaila will score in front of the Sharks faithful. And it is 30-18 with a kick to come, Cronulla. And just a reminder, if the Sharks win this game and the Roosters lose this game, the Roosters go on a fraud alert and the Sharks will go off scam for the first time in about 6 weeks. But Blake Brayley, he goes out to the right. He gave it to McInnes. McInnes up to Nico Hines. He gets a good double cutout ball across to Viaila, and Viaila gets around Butcher, and he puts it over the line here for a try here, Viaila. And this is a huge kick. It's a 12-point game, but if Nico Hines can get this conversion to make it 32-18, I would nearly say this game is all but done. Who's going to be the new scammers? Well, no one's a scammer right now. No one's a big old scammer right now. I feel like if the Dogs lose to the Dragons, no, they can't go and scam. If the Dogs lose to the Dragons and then lost again next week, then sure. If Manly losing to the Storm wouldn't be scam, but who do Manly play next week? That'd probably be the next shout. 12 minutes to go of the game, just waiting for this conversion here. Who do Manly play next week? Manly next week play the Bulldogs. Even though they've got a really tough run coming up, like if they lose both their next two games, you've got to put them on scam. If they lose by 50 to the Storm, then you put them on scam. But they would be the closest team to being scammers. All right, Nico Hines here from the right-hand side. This is a difficult kick. If he can get this, though, it'll be a 14-point game. And Nico will... Nico, that's bad. Oh, so it stays a 12-point game. Game's still on here for the Roosters. Big Ant are the new scammers. That's not exactly off the cards too much there, Real Keefe. Probably would say that. The Knights he was scouted to as a 14-year-old Chris Villa. So you guys let him go up there in Novocastrian and Lamb Brenton, dearie me. Vasma says, who do you think winning the grand final? Right this very second, I've got a grand final between the Raiders and the Storm, but also I'm still a little bit hesitant on the Raiders. So a short kick off here from the Roosters, and they will catch it. Okay. Chancey, that's a ballsy move with 12 minutes to go. So the Roosters get the ball here at the 33 on first tackle after the short kick. And now the Roosters will get this ball here at the 30. Nico is never going to be able to evade the not clutch narrative against him. Because that was... Tedesco will drop the ball and it's going to be a Roosters knock on to the 25, and that is no good. That is no good. But yeah, I'd probably say I'm a little bit tentative on the Raiders right now. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit late season jitters. I think the Storm will be there. I think the Panthers are a bit of a facade right now, but I think that there's a genuine chance that they go into it again. I would be a bit of a basic bitch and say Storm currently, but they've still got a lot of errors in them as well. I'm going to be a bit of a basic bitch and say Storm currently, but I don't think the Dogs win. I definitely don't think the Warriors win. I got the Broncos at about a 0.5% chance. This Sharks team making me sick. I'd probably... and now the Shark knock it on. There you go. And that tells you everything you need to know. 10 minutes to go here at the game. 10 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. The Sharks are going to try and challenge this. But they have knocked it on. See, Chad Townsend is 76 rated on Rugby League 26. So Chad Townsend is 76 and Jackson Hastings is 89. Lovely. Can we not put Dogs at scam, please? Instead, can we put Lachlan Galvin at scam? Back in your plays, man. Let us all insult your players. Don't. Back in your plays. And, well, that's not a knock-on. I wouldn't say that's a knock-on by any means. That's continuously going backwards. And I don't even know if he touched that with his hands. I don't even know if he touches that with his hands, but at no point does that ball go back or go forward. But it goes backwards. No, Bunker. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're seeing the same play as us, Bunker. At no point is that going... bunkers are just insane. At what point did that ball go down directly? Like it's going backwards the entire time. The one from McInnes at the commentary wouldn't let go of before. That was more forward than that one just then. So it's like, how are you saying that that one's gone forward just now, but the other one was fine? Alright, so first tackle here with the Roosters at the 40. Well, at least the Roosters have got a chance to bring this game back into a one-score game here. So Roosters at the 38 metres, second tackle. And now third tackle here at the 30. Kyle Flanagan at 86, yeah, no, makes sense. Sam Walker, short ball to Connor Watson. Fourth tackle here at the 20, that was a very flat pass. Connor Watson, Zach Docker-Clay, Sam Walker, and that is a mistake. That's a forward pass there from Sam Walker. This game is just error-filled these last few sets. This is just ridiculous, these last few moments. Jamie says, apparently the refereeing has been a bit rough. Your thoughts? Sure, but the Sharks have been the better team. Like, that was a bad call against the Sharks, but, ball don't lie, and the Roosters make a mistake themselves. There's probably an argument for McInnes dropping the ball before a Sharks try, but I would argue that goes backwards. But with that being said, sure, but I don't want Roosters fans to think they've been robbed here by any means because the Sharks have been the better team, but the Sharks have also been still playing very Cronulla-like and not being convincing enough. They win games, but not by convincing enough margins. Like in the first half, they were very clearly the better team by a long way on all the stats, but were only up 20-12. I'm not too sure what happened to Billy Smith, Afad. I'm not too sure. Craxy says, Tom Eisenhuth is 90 rated. Yes. Anyway, we'll get off the Rugby League 26 chat because I really couldn't care less about that game, eh? So 4 tackle here at the halfway point. 8 minutes 44 to go of the game. And Will Candy now at the 40, fit tackle. Didn't get to watch the match, just heard yapping from Roosters fans. It's not a surprise. But Roosters, they've deserved to lose it. If they lose this game, there's still 12 points, 8.5 minutes to go. It's still time for the Roosters. But they lose this game, they deserve to lose the game too. They weren't good enough. All right, so the Roosters now, they'll be 10 metres out, second tackle. Billy Smith's out due to concussion. Thank you, Andrew. All right, Daniel Tupou will be third tackle at the 15. Mitchell says, Roosters have fans, question mark. Yeah, apparently they do. Oh, this is typical primetime Roosters. This is what they do, lads. This is what they do. Sharks end the game now. End the game now. Put them out of misery. Another knock on there from the Roosters. This is why the Roosters are in the top 3 for errors across the competition. They may be able to win games, but majority of the time they're making about 13 to 15 errors every single game. How many errors have they made today? So they have made, error-wise today, 12, 13, because that's not including that last one. So the Roosters are where I told you they'd be. They make a lot of errors, this Roosters team. They're very similar to the Broncos team. Nicho Hynes back onto the inside. If they score a try here, it'll be game over for mine. It'll be third tackle here for the Sharks. They are 3 metres away. Blake Brayley off to Oregon Kaufusi. And Kaufusi on 4 tackle will be about 4 metres out. I'd go for a field goal. I'd crack it. Braden Trindle go. They go left-hand side. And Trindle will be 1 metre out. I'd crack one. They don't do it, though. And it'll be just take it down to 3. I would have cracked one. I would have tried to go for a 31-18 score line with 7 minutes to go. I know the 7 tackle set exists, but I would have cracked one. Like it says, low-key, I'm going to miss seeing the Sharks scam era. Well, they're not out of it just yet. But the Roosters will go to fraud alert, and the Sharks will go to fraud alert. So the Roosters now second tackle here at the 18. And now they'll give it out. And the Roosters will get... Oh, another knock on. Oh, my God, Roosters. Oh, Roosters, you are something. Oh, you are something. This is what we witness every week. This is what we witness every week with this Roosters team, mate. This is what we see every week with this Roosters team. It's error city, bitch. Error city, bitch. Truly, they are now on 15 errors in this game. They are about to be on 15 errors in this game. Like, even when they win games, they make way too many errors. And today, this should cost them. I really want the Sharks to just put them to bed and put them out of their misery here. Because truly, the amount of mistakes this team makes is just ridiculous. And again, Broncos fans, you are the same team as the Roosters. You make a ridiculous amount of errors yourselves. But you're able to win games. So Sharks at the 15. I would now, at the end of this set, consider going for the whip of the crack. Crack of the whip. Whip of the crack. Crack of the whip of the field goal. So third tackle. 9 metres out. Blake Brayley to Nicho Hynes. Hynes up to Oregon Kaufusi. And Oregon Kaufusi is 2 metres out. I'd do it now. Sharks. I'd do it right this second. They're not going to, though. Blake Brayley. He'll throw it across. It will Candy. Candy steps inside. Candy. 5 metres out. Go for it, Sharks. Finish the game off. Blake Brayley out the back. Braden Trindle puts it up. Puts it over. And that, my friends, will be the game. 31-18. Braden Trindle will hit the field goal. 31-18 with 5 minutes to go. And we need to start taking off the scam here. Oh boy, Shaggy Sharks, for the first time in a long time, will be coming off El Scamo, and they will be going on to fraud alert for the first time in a very, very long time. But there is 3 teams here. There is 3 teams. 3 teams that are on the fraud alert down here. And that, my friends, is the Manly, the Shaggy Shark, and the Chooky Chooksters. There we go. A couple of fraudsters down there. Sharks will actually go into 6th position, though. The Sharks are going to go from 10th position to 6th position. The Roosters will go from 9th to 10th. And that, my friends, is going to be a penalty to the Roosters off the kickoff, so the Roosters will get the ball at the 40 and get a penalty. Vasmus is up the Sharks. Olivia says Jay loves a field goal. Get around Jay. Loves a field goal, that bloke. Loves a field goal. Gamer says, if the Roosters lose next week, will they be a fraud alert? Mate, they're on fraud alert right now. They're on fraud alert right now. Ibrahim says, we won't see this game on Townsend channel, will we? Mate, probably not, mate. He's made a few errors here. First tackle in for the Roosters, 25 minutes out. If they want any chance of getting back into this game, they have to win it. They have to score. Oh, he's lost the ball. Oh, my God, he lost the ball. Oh, my God, he lost the ball. 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 Spencer Laney's lost the ball. Spencer Laney's lost the ball. Spencer Laney has knocked the ball on. Just a reminder, I'm not a Roosters fan by any means, ladies and gentlemen, and this is how the Roosters make me feel every single week. Every single week. Oh, Spencer Lenny. They're on 16 errors. Oh, they're on 16 errors, lads. They are on 16 errors, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't. 16 errors. Let's go back here and have a look at the stats. 16 errors for the Roosters will now put them worse than the Knights error-wise. That'll do me. That'll do me. Yeah. So before this game started, the Cowboys at 237 errors, the Knights at 220 errors, the Roosters at 205 errors. The Roosters have now gone into the second worst error-ridden team in the competition with 221 errors. They are 16 errors behind the Cowboys, but they've played one less game than the Cowboys. This Roosters team is one game away from being the worst error-ridden team in the competition. Which is we all love BKR crash out. I'm crashing out. I'm not even a Roosters fan. Usually it's the Sharks making me crash out, and I'm not even a Sharks fan. Titans make me crash out. Well, Titans don't even make me crash out because I actually know that my team's not good. But like, oh gosh, you know? He saw Lindsay Collins and shut himself again. Fit tackle here at the 40. He needs a sniff, I think. Well, I'm about to stream the Panthers-Rabbitohs game, so we'll be live for that one, and we'll calm ourselves down as we probably see 50 points put on by a team. And the Roosters will get this ball to the 10. And penalty to the Roosters. Lagan says, if only you showed this passion to the Titans, mate, maybe you would have your premierships by now. You're getting fucking timed out. So 2 minutes 44 to go. We'll see on the next stream, Lagan. We'll see you on the Panthers-Rabbitohs stream, mate. We'll see you on the Panthers-Rabbitohs stream. I'm just letting you know I timed you out for that one. Dad's timed him out for 10 minutes. Will he be? Oh, he's only timed out on this stream. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know if that transferred over to the next one too. So first tackle here at the 40. Second tackle at the 45. Roosters get the crown for Grass McGrath. Well, no, the Cowboys have the Grassy McGrath crown right now, but the Roosters are coming in red hot. I'm just waiting for them to knock the ball on again here. Rob Toya, he'll be 40 metres out, third tackle. I'm just waiting for a mistake from the Roosters on this set. Have they completed a set in the last, 10 minutes? I actually don't know. It's a genuine question. Have they completed a set in the last 10 minutes, the Roosters? Dad's mate says, we can make that happen so he's timed out in the next stream. It's a good shout. It's a great shout. A little 24-hour button. Oh, Roosters. They're still going in. I wanted to us say. And it's a knock. I can't do this anymore. I can't do it anymore, Roosters. I just can't even watch you anymore. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Hey. Let's breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. 48 seconds to go here. Roosters with 17 errors in this game. 17 errors. I don't know if they completed a set in the last 10 minutes of this game, ladies and gentlemen. I do not know if the Roosters completed a set in the last 10 minutes of this game, and I'm not taking the piss. Truly, lads. Truly. Fit tackle here for the Sharks. At the 45, and Blake Brayley and Nico Hines Hines will just kick this ball into the corner where the Roosters, Daniel Tupou gets it back to James Tedesco. Tedesco now to 25. Please, I just don't want to see another knock on. I just don't want to see him make a mistake here on this last couple of plays. And he's lost the ball. He went backwards. It's all right, lads. It's all right. Roosters ball. They're going to throw the ball over the top here. Just don't knock the ball on. Just take the tackle. Just, they need the for and against. That's what they're looking for here. That's what they're looking for here. Nwanga to Wase. That's the end of the game. 31-18 with the final score here. The 13 plus does happen, 31-18, and that is a massive, massive win for Cronulla. I really need to emphasise that for everyone. This is a massive, massive win for Cronulla here. That will put them into 6th position for the time being. Now, they were in 10th with their on 22 points. Their points differential was +8. They're now on +21. The Roosters, who were on +21, are now down to +8 with this loss. Cronulla will go into 6th now. They will, no matter what, be in the top 8 this weekend. But the Panthers play the Rabbitohs in about 10 minutes' time. We will be live for it, so I'll see you on that stream. If the Panthers beat the Rabbitohs, the Sharks will go down to 7th. And if the Manly-Melbourne game tomorrow, if Manly beat Melbourne, then the Sharks will finish off the weekend in 8th, no matter what. They will be above the Dolphins and the Roosters this weekend. But obviously if Manly and Panthers do lose their games, the Sharks will be in 6th position. Roosters, on the other hand, they are in 10th position with a +8. The Dragons are too far behind them on 18 points. They're 4 points behind them. But if the Dragons do beat the Dogs, they'd be within 2 points of the Roosters. They're in 10th position. But the Sharks, they're off the scam. They're on the fraud. They are getting a couple of wins now, and that's a huge win there for the Sharks to put themselves back up into the finals for 2025. But all right, guys, I will see you guys in 10 minutes' time for the next game, which is the Penrith Panthers fighting for a top 4 position and to keep themselves in the top 8 as well, whilst also the Rabbitohs are trying to fight and avoid the wooden spoon. So hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys in 10 minutes' time. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya. Shaggy Shacks. Captain goes down with his shit, baby. Captain goes down.